Hi there, welcome to Monday's stream. This is Monday Madness. We're going to have a couple of pug tournaments today. We've got Hidden Llamas versus Blue Siren. In this tournament, we're going to have a few random guys just put together in a team. This is just so you guys can try out what a tournament feels like, get a little bit of organized play in there, maybe even try your hand at shot calling. And we're going to be casting the match. I'm here with Rock today.
Yeah, no, and I'm hoping we're going to have some really good games. We've seen some of these players before, and they've all looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, we've seen Soccer yesterday actually pulling out some really cool players on the Reinhardt. We've not seen much of Blue Sirens other than Lunashy.
I personally have seen Immune before and Alravan. I haven't seen Pirateer, MJB, or Michi, or however you say Michi.
These guys are some new guys. I'm gonna go with Michi. I quite like the name Michi. And Mai Chai might be a bit weird.
I'm pretty sure it's not Mai Chai.
But yeah, hopefully we're getting that right. We got the Riot Man, Christopher, and we saw Neru on the Zenyatta yesterday on Sunday scrims, hitting all those shots on the Zenyatta. Took down quite a few Pharos that game.
Yeah, no, he's certainly very impressive, and I think we're hopefully we'll see that again, because you see a lot of Pharah come out in pugs, and it's people you get those one or two people who just play tons of it, and as a result they kind of dominate unless you deal with them properly.
Yeah, it's quite easy to pull out the Pharah play. If it doesn't get countered quickly, especially on control maps, that can be a quick 50%. Hi there, welcome to Monday's stream. This be good today.
Why is it making sound?
Hidden Llamas versus Blue Siren. In this tournament, we're going to have a few random
I don't know
guys
what's making sound.
just put together in a team.
Oh God, I can't hear
This is just so you guys can try out what a tournament
Where
feels
is
like.
it?
Get a little bit of organized play in there.
Where actually is that coming from?
And we're going to be casting the match. Have you got Rock today? Are you running Google Chrome?
Oh yeah, my God. Okay, all right. Twitch. Okay,
usually has like a little audio at the top.
Wait, I've got it. Sorted. I muted so I was using the Twitch app. I'm really sorry. Wow, this is some top quality producing as per usual from me.
You know, it's a top quality stream. No worries. We got this. To be fair, we're in already. We got the team names down. That's all sorted, so that's the main thing. A little bit of sound here and there never hurt anyone. Unless you were sleeping, that's kind of an issue.
Definitely don't want to be woken up. Always sucks. And hopefully these teams are going to give a very rousing performance, though, because right now I feel like staying awake and watching these matches. Yeah,
definitely. I've had a long day today. Just went for a huge 9-hour lecture into going to the gym, and now I'm here again. So I'm pretty tired, but to be fair, I really like Soccer. He's a cool Reinhardt player, and I'm ready to see some more of him. And we know that Rayson's in later these matches. He should be playing for. Is it the Valiant Goblins? I believe it is the Valiant Goblins.
Let me just give it a check. Yeah, no, he's playing for Valiant Goblins alongside Scrooty, who we saw before. Was lacking a little bit on that Zenyatta last time we saw them on Spicy Space Pirates, was it? No, it was on. No, it was on the other team. It was on
Mutant Ninja Turtles, I believe.
No. With the team that played in the finals, which was.
Fat Finger Dolt.
Fat Finger Dolt, that was
it.
Getting completely shut down by some brilliant play from the Spicy Space Pirates last weekend. Sorry. Well, yeah, last weekend, that kind of still works.
It does kind of still work. Strangely enough, it was only yesterday.
Getting completely shut down by them and couldn't really do too much. Still had some pretty cool plays going off, and alongside, I think it was... What was the name of the other Zenyatta?
I
want to say Neeb, but that's the name of a StarCraft pro. It's something like that. But it ends with a B. Anyway, we saw some brilliant Zenyatta play yesterday, and hopefully we'll see more of that, because it was absolutely fantastic, and I really enjoyed seeing them frag out, much like Jonak does. Yeah,
there was some really great plays coming out from the Zenyatas, like we're saying, hitting those balls with some great efficiency. I think it really destabilized a lot of the teams, especially when you're going into a fight and you have a Pharah that goes down immediately to a Zenyatta ball, like mid-air. That's a real problem, and it push you down a man, especially when that Pharah is what you use to engage. You need that barrage mid-fight. It does become difficult, but there were a few with transcendences that kind of were questionable. I mean, definitely in the last fight, there was one where I believe it was the guy you were talking about who transcended onto point, got pushed off by a whole hog. Didn't really do too much that fight. I'd like to see some better transcendences. Not so much double stacking on the support ults this game. I mean, Lunashai, is a great mercer, and we saw some good picks, didn't we, last game, bro?
Wait, I'm just checking because the chat is saying Twitch is dead. The stream is streaming, but as I said, I've been having these Twitch issues. Maybe more people are, and it's not just me being awkward. So we're just going to investigate that. Works it for 2 minutes and then breaks.
Yeah, definitely take a quick look at it.
Yeah, that's super strange.
If you also want to change the name, if you can, in the scoreboard, quad C to blank.
But you're still under the blank tag, aren't you? On Twitter.
Yes, I actually got a new one.
Oh, because it was still letting me at you on that one.
Yeah, I'll link you up because I'm such a good boy. It's at blank 22299.
Okay, all right. I'll sort that out now.
Matt's good. Twitch breaking. Odd.
Update. There we go. That's all sorted. And we've got which side is which. So Hidden Llama's on blue, and we've got Blue Sirens. It seems like the chat is blaming Dr. Disrespect for this. His comeback has been a little bit too much for the champ.
Destroying Twitch right now. He just comes back, disrespects the Twitch. Actually, probably not going to make that joke. A little bit insensitive there.
Yeah,
I will leave off that one.
Yeah, bit of a sore spot currently. But anyway, what are you looking for on Eichenwald specifically?
Eichenwald, definitely the first point. It's a very difficult match to put in. You've got the gate at the beginning. Real strong point. You can definitely hold the fort there. With an Orisa, with a Junkrat and a Soldier, you're pretty much primed to go. I'd love to see some Symmetra play. When you do see it happen, it is quite strong. But what would be amazing, Rock, would be a quick push onto that first point. You don't see it often, especially with these random teams. It'd be lovely to see.
All right, and we're going to be getting to the first map on Eichenwald, which will be fantastic to see. As you said earlier, I'm hoping for some sort of, as you mentioned, some cheesy picks centered around this first point hole.
Yeah, definitely. We already have the May pick coming out. Neruzo and Hansa. I'm going to switch off that quickly. I'm actually not going to comment on these picks until we get to about 10 seconds to go, because usually people like to troll us.
Yeah. Though Extract on this Junkrat, I've seen him play it before. And especially on specifically Eichenwald, it's a really strong pick. So I'd not be surprised to see him pick that.
Yeah, definitely throwing those bombs down the middle of this gate here is very strong. There's only two ways you can come in. You can choke off the left side here with traps and concussion grenades. And if you've got a Reinhardt up in front, or a Orisa in this case, that Soki's playing, it's very difficult to push through. It looks like they're going to go for MJB on Pharah and Immune on Genji. So probably looking for a quick push around the left side or the right side flank with Pharah. It could be quite a quick push onto point. Maybe waiting for the Zenyatta Transcendence. I'm not sure. Not sure about the pick actually of Zenyatta, because you do need a long time to pull out that Transcendence Rock here. And they really want to take this point fast.
Also, they're trying to do that dive, and the Zenyatta is going to be all alone in that backline for Michi.
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen, I've seen Fiamatic before. He's a decent Roadhog. If you let that Zenyatta alone, he's going to get hooked and brought in. And you're going to have a shotgun right in your face. And that barrel does not look nice when you're up close.
No, it certainly doesn't. And Fiamatic hoping to prove that today with, as you said, some brilliant hooks that we're looking for from him. Because working together with this Orisa and Roadhog combo, it can be so deadly. Yeah,
definitely. You have the Orisa up in front, Fiamatic in the back. So we're going to see them just trying to poke on the front here. It looked like quite a fast push in. The hook will go out, but will be missed immediately, and we're getting into this first fight now.
The Riot Man is diving in right away alongside Pirateer, but they're just going to get blown up. It was a bit of an ill-advised push, and that's what we see. We saw Theomatic just walk forward, and Michi just gets picked off straight away. Aravan going to go down as well, and that's an automatic reset. It's looking terrible for the Blue Sirens so far.
Yeah, not great. Blue team are pushing up quite far right now. Maybe want to back off a little bit, reset, but they will be able to restabilize here. The Winston pushing in with the immediate, and MJB will take down Lunashy here, and that's quite a big pick. That does remove the res from the next fight. They're going to continue to push, direct hit onto Saki though, and Fearmatic's just going to be in the front here, a bit of a meat shield.
MJB trying to deal with the soldier on the enemy team, almost taking him out there, but not quite finding it because of all that healing that's coming through. From
MJB very low here as well.
Oh, manages to trade with him. But that's not what you want when you're making this. Oh no, when you find picks like that, it's exactly what you want. Now they can just continue to trade, but this res is coming through from Lunashy. But again, this Zenyatta going down in the back line. Michi absolutely popping off, being huge, and that's going to be a first point hold, it looks like so far.
Fearmatic using the whole hog there, not a great effect. Probably could have saved that for the next fight. We see MJB with Barrage not even after using this, so this could be quite crucial on the gate here, Rock, because as we know, it's quite difficult to push it around this first corner, but with that Barrage in his pockets, could be quite easy if he just throws those through the gate.
The Barrage is very strong ultimate, but they need to find some way to actually pin them down or take their attention. A hook like that could be a big shot for Pirateer, but he's just going to get hooked back, and all that healing coming after Mercy is going to completely deny him anything.
So that's Barrage going down immediately, and as we said, Neru's a great here, immediately sees the pick and takes him down. So they might just be able to get the defense back up here, Rock. In the first fight, Michi saw the chinks in the defense and took his advantage. He's doing it again here with the pick of the Lunashy. Nice headshot there from him.
Michi's been absolutely huge so far on this second point, and alongside the rest of his team popping some ults to try and win this fight. It's looked like they're going to take at least the first part of Streets phase pretty uncontested after what was a god-awful ultimate, I think from Immune, was it? Who was on the part?
Yeah.
Was it? No, it was MJB, sorry.
MJB. Not a great ultimate, and Michi's just going to come into the fight here, pick up some couple of headshots. Not looking good for the blue team.
Especially when, well, sorry, not when they turn it around like that from Extract. Managing to even take out Immune, who was right on top of him, and getting that res is going to completely turn around that fight. But they need to actually contest this card. Oh, there we go.
Poor Fearmatic getting thrown into the hole. Nice little suicide play there, but at this point, blue team spawn is a little bit closer. Reds do have a bit further to walk, so this might give chance for blue team to get back on that point. What I'm not seeing right now is this team's not taking really much advantage of Arisa's shield. Seem to be all over the place, very scattered. It's giving point for a lot of space for Michi to work with, actually, and those sight lines that he's getting, making for quite easy headshots here.
It's interesting to see that Blue Sirens have swapped onto that dive with this Genji, so they've now got Genji and Tracer, and they're trying to find a way in, because there is quite a static comp coming out from this blue side of, funnily enough, not the Blue Sirens, but in fact the Hidden Llamas.
Indeed, so Hidden Llamas here, they're just going to try and push onto point, but Immune's taking a lot of damage here, will actually go down to the bongos.
And an interesting two-team jam session with those two bongos, but it's definitely going to be Christopher coming out on top with a beautiful nano visor. Sorry.
Yeah, very nice there. Bongos stayed up a little bit too long. All that damage on top of everything, especially with Fearmatic throwing out those shotgun blasts, is just a little bit too much for Red Team right now.
Getting a little bit of damage onto that shield before it goes down, but Theomatic going to be just way too far forward, and he finds him. Michi has been absolutely huge, basically his third DPS at this point, with how much work he's been doing. In fact, he's been finding way more than we've been seeing Immune or MJB find.
Pretty much, yeah, and Immune will go into the fight here with the Blade and the Ana roll, trying to do his best here, not picking up too many, but will take Extract down here and push and continue on the fight.
Looking to try and get onto these tanks. They managed to take out Saki and then they start to push through. Neru is caught all alone. It's only going to be a matter of time. Christopher probably going to have to run back now. Can't really stall it that much longer until his teammates come. Fearmatic going to be caught out and going to go down on this high ground. Just a matter of time.
Yeah, Fearmatic here making a lot of strange flanks. Not doing exactly what they need him to do, because he's not, I don't think he's realizing his team are getting overrun quite a bit. Even with that clunky Dragon Blade and the Ana roll, it's not really enough. And Saki's going to go down here to that awful, nasty Discord.
Extract managing to get a couple of picks back, slowing them down. That was an interesting Viva Bomb, and it finds Extract? How did Pirateer get away with that? Like, that is daylight robbery.
He could have just run around this corner, gone inside this little alcove here, but instead he decided to watch some TV and watch the fireworks go off.
Yeah, Christopher gonna get dived by Pirateer. Under a lot of pressure, but luckily he has Socky there for him. The Ryan Man, however, pushing forward, has the Bongo. Need to watch out for that. That could be a big turning point in this fight. Or so could be the pick onto Lunashai. Lunashai just about making it out as they start to rain nades onto this high ground. Extract managing to find a trade back, but Immune is just showing up here on this Genji, finding 3 kills and turning the fight for them. Well, keeping the fight going, especially when he pops Blade like this. The Bongo is saved by him, and he certainly likes the beat as they push it on. Oh, wow, Christopher just getting on in time, but... Oh, wow, what is this contest? There we go. 3rd time's the charm.
Beautifully done. Hidden Llamas, Blue Siren, sorry, their positioning just absolutely amazing on this last point. You can see them with Socky just planting down that Orisa shield, staying behind it. You've got Anna shooting from the back lines. You've got Junkrat throwing out those bombs. And the rest of Hidden Llamas were just stuck in the corner, scattered right side and left. Not much they can do really about that. I think they need to get their act together. Maybe put more of a foothold. Perhaps even a triple tank would be great in this situation.
I think triple tank wouldn't be the worst thing to watch. It's generally a pretty strong comp in the current meta, but it's whether they have the players in this PUG game who can actually pull it off.
Definitely. It looks like Bungus will take a leave here. Got a quick sub in, which is quite nice. In fact, no, Bungus was one of the spectators. It's okay. It's okay, guys. I'm just being an idiot. Don't worry. What we saw there, though, is we had Blue Sirens with some perfect positioning on that last point. Bit of a clunky engage at the beginning, finally taking the point, but from there it was just a bit of a steamroll.
Yeah, no, it was, and they let the Orisa get away with very aggressive positioning. They didn't punish her for it in most situations. We saw the D.Va come forward, drop a bomb that shouldn't have hit anything, to be honest with you, but manages to kill Extract. It's just a comedy of errors, really.
Yeah, basically, a lot of faults going down. Even from Michi pulling out a weird transcendence, like, it's going to save him from the Riptire, but it's not going to save any of your teammates. And if your teammates are dead, who are you going to heal? Not a great play, but it's still got away with it. Like you say, a lot of these ultis not been great, but still getting away with murder right now, quite literally.
I think we're possibly... I'm sad we're not seeing a Zenyatta on either team again, because it was really good in that first game. Michi, maybe going to go to it? Come on. Make me smile, Michi. I believe in you. Yeah, we're probably going to get back into the game. I think Michi was having issues with something or another, so they need to restart Overwatch. But now we're all sorted and we're going to get back in.
Brill. So we've got the Moira, Lunashai, Lucio. So it looks like Neru and Lunashai bring some massive heals. The Coalescence is going to be great for pushing onto this first point. Especially, Christopher's going to be able to do a lot of damage. I think they're going to look for that mirror play on the Orisa, and if they have Extract on Junkrat, Christopher on Soldier, going to be easily taking down that shield for the first point. What they really got to watch out for is rushing in too quickly and seeing stars in the sky as Immune throws out that flashbang, and they've got to be really careful of Alravan here.
And I definitely also watch out for Michi. He is back on the Zenyatta, and we saw how much work he could do in the first part of this map.
Definitely, don't want to get in caught in his sights.
That was just a raw mistake. Unforced errors coming out from Christopher as he walks into MJB, and so much damage coming from that Junkrat. He finds Extract. This is 2 for him so far. MJB being absolutely amazing on this first point on this defense. Goes down to Neru. Probably shouldn't have done, but now it's only 4v4. Not a massive disadvantage.
DPS is down here, Rock. Not much that they can work with.
They do have a spawn disadvantage, do the Blue Sirens. But they're currently on the point. They're holding well. The Coalescence is looking a little bit threatening because it can get through that shield, but Pirateer is going to fall back a little bit. Oravan getting hammered around. Going to survive. A good Transcendence coming out from Michi. Try and save his team. And with MJB dropping in that tire, it's looking like they're going to do this first point hold still for a little bit longer.
managing to restabilize this event. I feel like this was a losing fight from the minute one when MJB managed to take off Christopher. I think it might have been the smart play to just pull back, wait for the DPS to be back alive, play it slow, don't rush in. You have all the damage you need at this point.
However, they decided not to do that, and it was working initially for them, to be honest with you. It's more because of the couple of errors coming out from MJB. They managed to survive a good Transcendence, but there is no one to follow up on it. It looks like, oh wow, what an Earth Shadow from Socky, absolutely smashing through the competition, and that's going to be a first point take, pretty much uncontested, well, completely uncontested, apart from maybe, nah, they're not going to try for any sort of last-ditch attempt.
And then we see Socky again, just really a wonderful Reinhardt, knew what he needed to do, got into position, didn't bother with charging in, just stuck on that sideline, flanked in and threw down the Earth Shatter. He's got some great awareness of the game and shown throughout the entire first point. We see him in the back line, shields up, no charging, not too aggressive, and knows when he can go in.
I'd like to highlight Riot Man hitting a couple of really decent biotic nades here to really turn the tides of these fights. Definitely a player to watch.
So here we can see a classic example of how Orissa's shield is meant to be played around. You've got a lot of the blue sirens up there just taking point. Michi again taking down the Riptide there. Like, this is just insane guy.
Now we see the return Riptide managing to find Nero. That's a lot more work they got out of it than their counterpart did. Michi looking for more frags with this right click. Definitely a right click enthusiast. Finding a lot of damage onto Lunashy and pretty much taking down Thematic on his own with Pirateer, just picking up the actual kill.
Socky looking very dismayed as he runs away with his tail between his legs. Not much you can do in that situation. He walked into a losing fight, tried to put his shield up, but Michi had already taken down much of the enemy team. And you had Extract there, MJB, making a really nice counter Riptide there, going straight for the supports. No more Moira to heal up the big tanks. Looks like they're going to throw a right flank here. See how it goes down, because they're rushing into a corridor versus Junkrat.
But it's working out for them so far. So much damage they have on their team. And this Roadhog hasn't really found anything too far until Immune manages to find that pick onto Nero. But with all these balls and all these shots coming out from Michi and Immune, there's nothing they can do to actually get through here. They're going to have to move towards the point. But even then, the high ground is still in the hold of Immune on this hit scan. It's going to be hard for them to push through.
So we've got a nice little back cap here from Thematic, pushing the payload through. It's a great point for them. The Riptide will come out. We'll see if it finds anyone. Take down Socky and Lunashy. An amazing little Riptide there, which just completely demolishes the push from Hidden Llamas.
That was also perfect timing, because the staggered players, the previously staggered players, were literally just coming back as that tire hit.
Yeah, because now they can re-establish dominance on this high ground. You've got Immune, actually not died once yet, making some really nice pot shots off on McCree. And they will make the same mistake and go up the stairs again, trying to chase down Alravan.
And Immune now has this high noon, which could be so deadly like this if they don't deal with him quick enough. Thematic looking to move towards the point, but Immune has him under lock and key, and it's definitely putting a lot of pressure on.
Christopher going down here once again. He really needs to... We see him die so many times. Just random bombs across the map. Socky doing his best to keep his shield up, but versus Immune constantly throwing those revolver shots into the shield, and MJB being relentless with those bombs, it's very difficult for Socky to make any progress onto this point.
Extract has a tower of his own, might be looking for a kill with that, but he's going to move towards the point. They're just going to try and ignore the high ground. It's not been working out for them so far. They're now going to start moving.
Nice little push on the side here. They're going to go for a different type of play here. Let's see what they can do here now, Rock.
They're kind of half committing to it though, really. They aren't actually making the push. They're waiting for their tanks. Their tanks are now here, but the Riptide is going to be coming through from MJB, and it's going to find a double kill. But that was absolutely beautiful. It's going to shut down the push.
Deadly plays here. Maybe they need to go underneath. Maybe they need to establish some more dominance on the top side, but it's difficult because from both sides they're trying to run through. They've got this awful choke point where MJB is just doing a perfect job. Takes down Thematic here. Only 60 seconds left in the time bank, but we see so many ults on Hidden Llama's side. Like, they can't use them just because they're always dead.
Yeah, no, they certainly can't go over it. And they can't go through it. They're going to have to go under it, as you said, and possibly use this ultimate from Extract to actually aid that. Because so far, it's just not been used. They've had it for a couple of fights now. but they haven't used the time. That is interesting. They didn't manage to capitalize it because Extract was just... They were keeping an eye out for his Tyrant. As a result, it's going to be MJB still able to survive, and he's going to start to rain shots down onto this coalescing Nero. Oravan has his ult, and that's going to do so much work, taking out Extract right away. The tire from MGB picking off Christopher, and that's going to be what seems to be an end to this fight if they can just pick off these last few supports. Not long now.
Lunashai just dancing around the point here, trying to stall out for as long as possible. Saki doing his absolute best. Not sure if his best is enough, though, in this situation. Rest of the blue team coming back onto the point. Extract trying to throw out those bombs. Will take down Trace here, but Michi again with the follow-up with that headshot with the balls, and Christopher jumps straight into that trap. If you saw there, though, on this point, Extract just gave up the high ground. He was above them, jumped down, and then just threw himself off into the hells below, and that will be the first game going to Blue Sirens.
No, a very strong push from them so far, and a very strong map in general.
Yeah, it was some really good holds, nice push, a little bit clunky towards the end, but it looks like these teams shot calling and their communication is just better than Hidden Llamas at this point. Blue Sirens just doing an amazing job. A lovely little play from Saki there, as we saw, but I'm not sure if a Reinhardt is enough to win this game.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, he does require a lot of his team to do work here. As a result, we're going to need to see the rest of Hidden Llamas to step up if they want to take this series.
So it looks like we're going to have a sub out here. Attacker's going to go to the Hidden Llamas team. They're getting swapped out for... Oh, no, sorry again. Blue Sirens are going to get switched out there. Riot Man, who's playing that nice Ana, is going to get switched out for Attacker. Not sure what he plays. I'm just going to quickly check what he mains.
I'm going to make an assumption that it's probably DPS from the name Attacker. No, I'm wrong.
Apparently not.
They play a lot of different things. They play mainly D.Va this season. A little bit of Moira, so we'll probably be seeing that Moira because they are stopping in for Riot Man, who was on that Ana. I really like seeing the Ana, actually. I really like watching Ana in general.
Yeah, Ryujong is a awesome player on Soul Dynasty. You see him with those lovely battle grenades. He's never going to switch off that, though, I don't think. But you do see that the amount of pressure that he can produce on Soul Dynasty alone just shows how good Ana is as a hero herself.
Well, it is a little bit lacking, but he does make it work. Hopefully we'll see a couple of buffs come through to Ana, and we'll be seeing her played again. She's a very exciting and very high skill cap champion. It's a great character that we have in this game. Interesting to see Nero's picking a Sombra, though.
Well, we saw that yesterday in Sunday Scrims. Some seriously big plays been made, mainly on, was it on Temple of Anubis, or was it on this map in particular?
I think it's on both, but the one on this map was a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, indeed. It's because they didn't play around the Mega, and once they did play around the Mega, the other team just collapsed on them. So all we want to see this match, you want to see it at night. They want their foot and their entire team round this Mega point, with Neru capping that early on. A bit of an offensive team, actually, on the defense. Usually you want to hold this gate with a Narissa or McCree just throwing off those revolver shots. But I've not personally seen this kind of dive comp play before on defense.
Oh, well, yeah. I forgot to switch over, but it's now all sorted, and we're back to the game. We'll be seeing this first push come out, and I'm really looking for Auravan to take control of the tempo of his team.
Definitely. He's been making some great plays last game on Roadhog. We'll see how he is on Reinhardt. They've definitely got Mitchie who's going to speed boost them in here, get them onto the first point. They continue through. Sombra's in the backlines and move on to point. Neil Health trying to do some damage in the backlines.
Completely ignoring any of the contesting players as they move on to the point. But managing to find so many picks, and this is just looking like a stomp right now.
Yeah, MJB doing a great job. Immediately DMX him. The double boot coming out from Mitchie. Just popping off these games.
No, and Christopher was uncontested originally at high ground, but a good hooking round from MJB is going to stop that dead in its tracks. And Extract going down. Diamatic soon to follow. The Sombra going to survive for a little while longer.
Sombra doing an absolute best to do what Sombra does best, as be quite the cheeky, sneaky flank, but They will take this point regardless. Not much they can do there. Didn't do too much with the Mega again. I think it might be time to switch off this on the second point. I understand she has EMP, but it looks like Blue Sirens are just going to rush onto the point here. If you don't use that EMP carefully, it's going to end in disaster.
It was a good zoning bomb coming out, and a really nice EMP to follow up. This is looking like a great fight for the blue team. They're managing to find a couple of picks down, but Pirateer on this Diva, managing to find Extract is big. Extract had just popped his, well, had just switched on, but Immune taking out Luna Shy. When Luna Shy's dead like that, it's going to be hard for them to actually stall out because they do not have that res. And Christopher finding kills left, right, and center to try and keep his team in it.
Great switch off from Christopher here onto Reaper. Understands that they've got a Roadhog and a Diva, that he can just shoot cannons into their face regardless. No contest here. And especially the Reinhardt get behind him, and he will have built up a Death Blossom this fight. Lunashy is already on his way to getting wings, and Fiamatic has a nice little bit of a whole hog saved up here. What we're really looking for is maybe a Grav combo with MJB. Nice to see that MJB can switch off and play tanks also, but that might be their win condition for this point, is the Grav whole hog combo.
It could also be the Steve bomb that it's pretty close to being up, to be honest with you. But it is looking like it's going to be the whole hog. Yeah, no, it is, and that's an absolute stomp. MJB definitely proving that he can combo ults, and it's not looking good for the Hidden Llamas. They're getting absolute. It looks like they're hidden. They're not even on the point or anywhere near a complete and utter whitewash from the blue side.
EMP was available this fight, didn't use it, cost them the game.
Terrible so far, and they're gonna have to try and redeem themselves with a really, really strong hold. A really, really strong push, sorry.
5 minutes 20 though, Rock. That's a lot of time left for Blue Sirens here to do with what they will, I guess. They might be able to hold this point, but as we have seen, Hidden Llamas haven't done too badly at pushing so far. They may not have the strongest comp or the strongest communication, but they definitely have proven to us that they can hold their own in some of the fights. At the moment, it looks like that Blue Sirens just have a really nice team play going on, and their mechanics are strong and they're down.
I really like this Reaper pick from Immune, because he's trying to read that they're going to pick triple tank, and he's read correctly.
And he's right. he's not wrong. But we'll have to see what happens. We've got Attacker here on and Mitchie back on that Xenia, looking for the picks. Really would be nice against Christopher, who switched onto the Reaper. Going to try his best to do what he did last game, but with that Transcendence could really shut down Death Blossom.
I think the more poignant thing is that Christopher is going to have a really hard time actually getting in here, because they got that Soldier and they have that Zenyatta and that long range damage, and he is just so short range. He's going to be able to do very little until he gets there, and the entire time he's going to be just soaking up damage.
Definitely. Might not even be able to build his ultimate very fast, because he's going to be shooting those shotguns from such a long range. Only probably one pellet is going to actually hit. So we can see MJB using the rocket jumps to get up some high ground. Very nice. But he is going to forsake Alvaran's shield. We're just going to hope that he's going to get some nice pot shots and be able to stay on the move, as we see him doing those fancy footwork with the AD. And we see here Hidden Llamas moving on to point.
And a really aggressive push is going to get them completely punished. Immune just being there as that Reaper is such a threat to tanks. And as you see, Christopher could not get in. Mitchie finding a couple of kills and firing a lot of warning shots so far.
Sucky, poor Sucky. No, Neil Health, sorry, ran straight into the shotguns of Immune, and we saw him flip off to the side. He knew he was done, and those two headshots just took him down, and that might have spelt the beginning of the failing of that fight. They didn't try and figure out their opposition. They just ran in blind, and unfortunately it doesn't work in this organized play that Blue Sirens have going for them.
They've very much swapped up their comp now. They're running, I believe, yeah, they're running Dive with a Pharah, which is quite interesting, but they've still got this hit scan from, have they? Yeah, they've still got this hit scan from MJB, which can deal with the Pharah, alongside Mitchie, who has proven more than anything that they can aim very well. But Immune, yet again, going to stop this dive. But Christopher managing to pick him off. It's looking like a good few picks coming through. Can Christopher find more? They're not contesting him in the air. Just as I spoke about the praises. And then finally MJB takes him down. But is it too late? Neru finding Michi in that backline is going to look terrible. The Coalescence having to come through from Attacker. But it's going to find a lot of damage and manages to take out not only Nero, but all of Theomatic's Diva actual mech. And this is looking like a really, really good hold for Blue Sirens so far.
You could see blue team running maybe just late. Maybe if Blue Sirens... maybe if Hidden Llamas hadn't have locked themselves in this little room here on first point, they might have had a better chance to stagger that fight out a little bit longer. But like you said, Farah just got taken out of the skies. Mitchie couldn't do his thing though, because actually we had Extract doing a quite good job of keeping him preoccupied in the backlines.
Mitchie definitely trying to get back and do his thing again. Manages to pick off the opposing Zenyatta straight away. Was looking like a good bomb, but Mitchie managing to dive into cover just in time. MJB having a lot of pressure on him, but does just peel back and finish off Neil Health. Pops that ultimate, but that Transcendence is going to negate most of that damage. Picks up only Lunashy.
Yeah, a nice little try there. Jumped into the backlines a little bit too aggressively. Got immediately taken down. The focus there is just impeccable coming out from Blue Sirens here. And Lunashy can only do his best to try and keep that poor monkey alive. But he did get smacked about in the Mega Room.
Not have a good time, but interesting.
No, he did not.
Interesting that we're seeing Neil Health, Alravan on this Winston, because they were running a shield, I think, an Orisa prior.
Yeah, before.
Now they swapped over to this, and MJB has absolutely no defense against these flankers. You can only start to move backwards, but managed to find a pick onto Nero. Lunashy not getting the res off just by a split second's difference, and not looking good.
Christopher over on the left side, making a really, really long and roundabout flank, but your team's dead, dude. There's nothing left you can do there. So he's just going to stay in the background here. I think he can see that MJB, Michi, and Attacker tend to have like a nice little trifecta in the back here, sticking together with Michi trying to get the pot shots off and Christopher just doing a lot of damage, having a lot of healing going on to him. MJB, sorry.
Finally, someone's on the point. They're trying to contest it. The ultimate coming out from MJB. Not quite going to find anything yet. Doing a lot of damage, but not only finding Christopher. The bomb from Haratir is looking good, as that Transcendence kept them alive for a long time. We're looking for this Dragon Blade, but Immune with the Death Blossom is going to completely shut down this push, and that's looking like it's it.
A really beautiful end to this game. Niru just doing a bit of a fancy light show with that Transcendence, only kept a couple players alive and then ended up just dancing around on the point. Immune, like you're saying, just doing a wonderful job up front. Slowly switched off to the Farah, but believed in his team, believed in Michi, and believed in MJB. Knew that they could take out the Farah in the skies whilst he focused on the tanks in the front.
Yeah, and we saw MJB playing a really mean tank himself, as we see the Roadhog ultimate coming out here, just completely shredding through everyone who was stuck inside that Zarya ultimate.
Yeah, a really, really nice play there. Love the communication between those two tanks. You saw it just round the point, knew exactly what he wanted to do. We see Attack here with 70% kill participation. We definitely saw him in the backlines a lot, keeping Michi and MJB alive. So that first game, that will go to Blue Sirens. I think that will close up this little match here.
Yeah, no,
Just
well,
some
just
great
the best
play.
of three for this first set. And then we're going to be going to another best of three between
Yes,
one of these
indeed.
teams and I think it's called the Valiant Goblins.
Indeed it is, yeah. So that's got Rayson on, my favorite. Lovely Diva player. I'm excited to watch him play because he is a bit like a rock. Sticks down, or more like a boulder in this case. Doesn't like to move anywhere, stays on point, and he's quite mean when he wants to be.
It certainly is. We're going to be going to a short break while we sort out the next match. So we will catch you in a jiffy. See you in a sec.
Hi there, welcome back to the stream. We're going to be starting off this first match versus Hidden Light and the Valiant Goblins. They're up on blue sirens on the screen right now, but we're going to quickly get them to change that. But they're going to be starting off on King's Row here. We saw Hidden Llamas with the absolutely destruction on that first map with a 5-minute 15 push onto Volskaya alongside a first point hold. So this could be quite a nice little match for them to play. We'll see if Scrooty can bring out the same things he was bringing out yesterday. We saw Elk last week on Tuesday, making some lovely plays on Winston. But it's down to Lunashai and Neru really like holding the team together. Some really nice healing going on in the background. And Neru doing his best on the Zenyatta.
A little bit lackluster in comparison to the fantastic play we saw coming out from Michi, but nonetheless, getting a couple of picks. Gonna have to now match up to Scrooty, who we know is a good player. Had a little bit of a lapse of form yesterday, but definitely gonna try and show up today. We're going to be seeing a couple of players who you've probably seen before if you've been watching any of the other AEO matches like Fakuha and Developers and Scrooty. I think we've seen Silent Storm before. Not quite sure.
I recognize the name. I'm not sure where
it's
from.
It's a pretty generic name though, so I'm not quite so sure. Well, I say, you know what I mean? Like something Storm with alliteration or sibilance because it's specifically S's.
But a storm isn't silent. But in this case, it is.
Yes.
In that case, we're really hoping that he's gonna really rush onto point, take some kills, and then get out of there before anyone is even there in the first place. What we see on King's Row, usually we have some nice sightlines for snipers. I'd really love to see a Widow on this map, but I doubt it in these kind of pug formats, especially where a team has to be so coordinated around those picks at the beginning. But we are going to see Socky jump in on that Reinhardt as per usual, and Christopher's going to switch off from DPS that he was playing last game and pick up the Zarya.
You know, Zarya has been pretty big so far. We've seen some really nice grabs, some high charge plays. Was that, who was it from yesterday who we saw an absolutely monstrous Zarya?
Oh my god. I can't remember the name of it wasn't Rayson.
Rayson did have a really good Zarya, but like in the finals we also saw another one. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was I think it was the other tank on Rayson's team, I believe, who was absolutely dominating. Had Graviton up every fight. Might have been,
was it,
no, I can't remember the name.
Atta? No, it was Rayson. It was either that or it was Valerian.
No, it must have been Rayson then, because
or it might have been Nice. No, it wasn't Nice because it was on the team that won. Anyway, I remember the name of the Zenyatta we couldn't remember. It was Pleb, and Scrooty hopefully gonna not have traumatic experience of what Pleb did to him yesterday.
Exactly. We've got a bit of a different mechanic and basically atmosphere going on here. Nice little slow push in from Socky on this left side. They're going to push around the point. This is actually some really nice plays here. So whoever's doing the shot calling, props to you right now. So Fargahar is just going to try to stay behind this Orisa shield, and Elk is just going to throw down those bombs, and Extract's just going to respond in the same manner. Doing their best to keep that shield up right now. Actually doing a great job, but they will push onto this left side. This could be an amazing play here, Rock. I don't know what they're going to do about it. Theomatic trying to push around a little bit too far, and Christopher does get taken down, which might actually ruin this entire push for
Theomatic given free space to make the push round and picks off Developers for free. This is looking like a really good flank from him. He's got free reign onto these tanks. They've not actually moved on to the point yet, but when you're just being completely uncontested here. Wow, Lunashai, what was that?
Lunashai was in the air for a little bit too long. I couldn't actually get back up because Theomatic didn't actually give him the chance to shift back up there. Theomatic will be stuck behind point and Christopher will go down. It might be time for them to reset here.
Elk has been pretty fantastic on this Junkrat so far. Not quite protecting his backline, but this ultimate coming out from Theomatic and is going to get shut down right away. It's looking terrible for them so far. They've just wasted ult after ult.
Yeah, we see Valiant Goblins here just sitting in the corner, being a nice stack team, it would be lovely to see some sort of death ball combo versus this, because they've been playing. And down comes the Earth Shatter.
Yeah, no, but it gets completely ruined by a good Transcendence coming out from Scrutiny. This tire finally coming out from Extract. Picks off Bakugan in that backline. They need to watch out for this high ground that Extract's on. It's been deadly to them so far. Silent Storm with that ultimate. Gonna find a couple of picks.
Elk knows they're up there, trying to throw some bombs and spoil the party, but not being so successful so far. Christopher goes down again.
Silent Storm definitely making a lot of noise here on this Soldier 76 and finding a triple kill there with 2 Helix rockets and a part of his ultimate.
Christopher does now have grab, and we're looking at 99% on Nero's ultimate, so he's going to have sound barrier for the next fight. Hopefully developers can bring out that nice coalescence and stop the charge as they come in. But we're going to see what goes on here. Socky just pushing onto point now.
Trying to be that front line for his team, but that coalescence is coming out, and the bomb coming out from Elk is going to find a triple kill. That was absolutely huge, and Christopher's going to get picked up by that coalescence right at the end, and it's looking super bad. They've only got 1 minute, 10 seconds left on the clock for the Hidden Llamas.
So we see a really good job playing Goblins here. Elk knew exactly what he needed to do in that situation, waited out the Riptide, and then as soon as they were in a position where they couldn't actually retreat, just sent that Riptide flying, and Socky just started to run back with nothing else he could do.
The beat being dropped by Nero, and they're going to move towards this point. A good Transcendence, but there's only one follow-up from Extract. Managing to win this fight anyway, it looks like, if they could just pick off these tanks in the backline. Silent Storm definitely doing so much work, completely uncontested on this soldier. Going to finally move towards Extract. Going to catch him by surprise just as he turns the corner.
So yeah, we see Silent Storm having a little bit of a skirmish here with Extract. We're going to see what they can do. Silent Storm will pick up the kill there. We see Silent Storm doing such a great job. Elk went down, but Silent Storm picked up the pace and managed to keep that fight alive. And it looks like Valiant Goblins will be able to restabilize the point now.
Nero definitely trying to amp it up and get them towards that point. They need to move now. They don't have very long. Socky finally jumps on and just drops the Earth Shatter, which hits absolutely nothing because of Transcendence coming out from Scrutiny. It's not looking good because Silent Storm has dropped his ultimate, and he has found so much this game with that it's going to lead to a 3k, oh nay, 4k for him, and that's a complete shutdown of that
Mid-air rockets takes down that ulting Genji there, so that's absolutely interesting play from Silent Storm. Does a great job, comes back line, has the right positioning. It looked like Hidden Llamas are just doing their very, very best to push onto point, desperately grab some space there, but just couldn't quite handle the pressure that Silent Storm and Elk were putting on them in that fight. Perhaps they need to switch it up, pull out the Farah. I know it's into Silent Storm's soldier pick, but perhaps if they can make a little bit of damage from above, they might be able to get a little bit of ground on the low ground here.
Okay, just gonna swap off the team names because I messed that up. It's supposed to be Hidden Llamas. But it says that on the client, but I haven't done it. There we go. Hidden Llamas. Right. Awesome. But it's been a really, as you said, good first point for that for the Hidden Llamas. Sorry, not the Hidden Llamas. Sorry. Bit flustered. Silent Storm showing it massively and making a really good defense. Now swapping over to a tank, they're going to be running triple tank. Quadruple tank. Sorry.
Yeah, running into this Fearmatic though with the Bastion, it could be dangerous as he cuts them apart as they come through the first point. But at the same time, if Christopher can make off that, if Silent Storm can make off that nice hook at the beginning onto the Bastion, could pave the way for victory for Valiant Goblins here. A very early victory indeed.
Yeah, no. I'm definitely looking for I think it's... Oh, wait. Yeah, Silent Storm is still on that road. Looking for Silent Storm to find a hook onto that Bastion. That's going to be how they win that fight. They're going to get a good flank off and just completely shut him down. He is, however, on this high ground. They can just hold out of his line of sight just about. So they might try and do that, but it's going to be hard for them to actually win the fight if they're just pigeonholed into this push.
Exactly. And we see Elk here... plays. You see him with the bombs on Junkrat. Let's just see if he can do the same grab.
A really aggressive push coming out from this quadruple tank. They don't know about the Bastion. They certainly do now. They're feeling the pain. as so much damage is launched into them. Diamatic's going to pick up one, looking like two. A hook that hits Lunashy. That's unfortunate for Silent Storm, and unfortunate for Lunashy as developers. He's going to find a pick, but it's going to be Diamatic moving to find a better vantage point.
Clunky fight here. Firmatic is in the top ground, but there's nothing to take him down. You only have developers with the orbs, but Scooty's going to do his best to stay on point here, try and stay alive. Golden Eagle, really great shield coming out from that elk, completely negating any damage from that shotgun.
Yeah, and Silent Storm managed to flank round and hook the Bastion, and that just led to Valiant Goblin completely snowballing that point. There was no one that could contest them, and they won straight away.
A really, really awesome game there. Expected Hidden Llamas to do a little bit more, but the late Valiant Goblins just came in and they were valiant indeed. Took the fight quite quickly, had some great position that entire fight, and the communication was just on point. It did seem like Hidden Llamas are doing their best, desperately trying to get some space on point, but not much you can do versus a really strong 2 DPS combo with the tanks in the background really backing them up really nicely.
Yeah, no. Are the teams all swapped? Yeah, they've swapped the teams around. So now we're going to be seeing that the in-game sound... the in-game UE is going to be wrong now. No, they've sorted that out. Okay, right. It's going to be sorted. But yeah, as you said, really strong double DPS. Elk and Silent Storm just being absolutely massive. And I think that Silent Storm in particular on that offense was completely crucial because he found that pick from the Bastion, because he got that hook in there and completely shut down that Bastion for the final push, which they did.
Yeah, Firmatic could only do his best to reposition in that fight, but by the time he'd repositioned up top, Valiant Goblins made a massive push onto the point, taking a lot of the space that Firmatic really needed to hold, and they were forced into the corner. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do it in the same way that Valiant Goblins managed to put a pike down and sit in that corner like a fortress. They were just kind of scattered, and it was kind of just like mopping up the trash there, unfortunately.
Farquhar definitely being pretty impressive so far. Has seen some really good plays alongside developers who has really impressed me on that Moira. It's been really good. They've definitely towed the line with that Moira, with that shadow step ability. Well, what's it called? Something like that? Shadow step? No, that's Reaper.
That's the one. It'll do. The shift
shadow step works. So really toying the line with how aggressive you can be with that shadow step, and managing to get a lot of healing done as well.
Definitely. All right, I'm going to take a quick minute break, and then I will be back, and we'll be able to cast this next game.
Okay. So we'll take a quick break, go to the break screen, and catch you in a sec. What the hell?
And here we are back again with Route 66. We're going to get this game going now. So what are you looking for on this map, Rock? Because I know that we saw yesterday some strong pushes and definitely some strong holds on the high ground. But what are you looking for from Valiant Goblin?
For me, it is all about that high ground. They need to take control of it. They need to sit there, get a lot of damage down. They need to get the right timing for when they collapse. And I think that's going to be down to these tanks that make the correct engage and dive on them at the right time. But we're going to see lots of damage, I think, coming out from Silent Storm on a soldier on that high ground if they take that, when they take that defense.
Yeah, definitely. We have Elk here, probably going to pick up the Junkrat on the map. would be a really, really nice pick, especially if you can keep them. Oh, we'll pick up the soldier actually, and Silent Storm will be up to picking what he can play. Uh, what we see on this map usually is there's a lot of flanking points that people tend not to use. You can come through this top part of the map and come out on the backside, looking over the diner here, or you can push through the bottom side. Both ways are really good. Maybe we'll have a pirate ship combo coming on here, but it's not likely. And Nero's playing that Sombra again. Might be a little bit of a pick that actually wins in the game, but we'll see how it goes because Sombra can be so inconsistent. And we've seen Nero before try to play it off, and the Volskaya map didn't quite work as well as they wanted it to.
Yeah, no, they certainly didn't manage to get too much out of it here, but Nero has shown that they can play it before. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of a better performance from them here on this map. It was, I think, something they ran on the defense at this point last time. The first push we saw from them, the first hold we saw from them was a little bit lackluster. They managed to get it sorted for the second.
Yeah, definitely. But we are seeing Moira here. Lunastri we able to put out. We have seen her before, done some great healing on Mercy, done some great healing on Moira, but there is only so much you can do as Moira when you're trying to keep the rest of your team alive. So it might be up to Tracer to find her own health packs in this case. You might be on her own Theomatic. And it's going to be up to the Extract and Socky to create a nice formidable defense up on this high ground, interestingly without the shield. So we're going to see Elk pushing in. They're not going to take anything, and Silent Storm's going to be on Farah right now. We'll push on and produce some pain on that high ground.
Yeah, they're looking for a very interesting dive comp, and as you said, they've got some of this damage coming out from Moira and the Sombra at long range. A bit strange, but it's going okay so far. They managed to trade out and take out Scrooty, which is a good first pick, to be honest with you.
But you see here, Silent Storm's doing a lot of damage. We'll get caught out by Winston here. That's going to be really for Valiant Goblins. And ELK will continue to push in. In fact, no, sorry. It will be really terrible for Hidden Llamas, rather.
Yeah, no, it was not looking good for them. They managed to just get dived upon and really lose a lot of the damage which they were needing to do.
So we're going to see the switch off from Silent Storm onto Doomfist now. Have seen this work very well on this map. There's so many places where you can use that fist to smack people into walls. There's also some great points where you can use that smackdown. And the uppercut is also really nice on this map, especially with so many points to throw people off.
Yeah, and he's absolutely walking up a storm so far on this final part at this point.
Takes the 4K.
It's also a really strong map because map here because other than on Streets phase, a Widow is not super great here, and as a result, Doomfist can roam free and get his work done. Golden Eagle.
Right at the time that Hidden Llamas decided that they might actually a Reaper to deal with the Winston and the Diva, but they're actually going to be stuck here, and Theomatic will make his way out.
A lot of damage coming out from Golden Eagle. He pops the ult and just dives right on in, doing so much work, distracting them so well. There are very few people stopping this push, and there's just everyone on top of the Orisa over here.
And Golden Eagle gets out just fine.
Interesting Diva bomb, but Silent Storm is going to make up for that with some brilliant play until he meets a hook, and he was caught.
But here we can see the developers and Scrooge have just been on this point the entire time. Gives healing to anyone who needs to come back. Golden Eagle managed to back up to full HP. They're stabilizing on this point right now. Developers and Scrooge will just continue to push this payload home. No contest here. Looks like they will get it with no one to come on point. Socky jumping on, immediately going down. Extract trying to get out those shotgun blasts, but not doing much hit rock.
Yeah, no, and we see the ultimate coming out from Christopher, but he's going to get taken out by Golden Eagle right away, and he's just soaring on top of him. And with Farquhar doing so much damage to his backline, it's going to be really hard for them to actually keep him alive.
Yeah, this Winston's been doing a great job all game for Valiant Goblins, really playing the Gumba play very nicely, squashing people. Center. We'll jump onto Christopher here. Bit of an aggressive play. Gonna have to move back before Extract just takes him down with the shotgun. Might actually cause a bit of a upset here on the payload as Hidden Llamas can push back on.
I mean, there is a lot of spawn advantage. There's not too far, sorry, to go for the respawn. So if they just hold it out for a little bit longer, it's all going to be fine. They pop the Transcendence in there, which is a little bit interesting to try and counter this Coalescence. Coalescence still gets a decent amount of work done, but it's going to be Farquhar right on top of Socky, going to deal with him so quickly and so adeptly. But we finally see this play coming through from Silent Storm, and he is absolutely decimating his team, dicing and slicing his way through this team.
We see Lunashire here, maybe a bit of a misplay for his team, holds onto the sound barrier for that entire fight. It could have even like swayed the fight in their favor if he'd managed to get the sound barrier down and denied that blade. But we'll see going on to Socky here, smacking her around, and Elk will pop the ultimate.
You know, a very strong ultimate coming up from Elk, doing a lot of zoning, but Theomatic with that high noon, possibly looking to try and contest this, but perhaps he's got his priorities a little bit mixed, trying to deal with Farquhar there.
But it doesn't really care, continues to fire in, will take down D.Va and Genji there. Some nice headshots coming out from him, really showing that he can do his best on that revolver. Developers and Golden Eagle, they will regroup, and looks like Valiant's gonna try and make the final push here. 3 minutes 22 on the time bank, a really great time, especially on this Route 66 map.
They've still got a couple of ults coming up. They've got Scrutiny and Silent Storm coming up, but Developers already has theirs, and this Coalescence can be so pivotal. But when you find a pick like that from Silent Storm, does it really matter?
Extract caught out of position here in the middle of the entire team. Not where you want to be, really, and Socky will be demeched in this situation.
He is, however, rocking it and trying to turn it back onto them, even with Silent Storm doing so much work in his backline. Almost kills off that Moira who was coalescing, but it doesn't really matter. Silent Storm is just going to dive right through him, and there's very little they can do to stop him.
Extract again, trying to play some piggy in the middle there, and we'll get immediately taken down. Luke game. Continue to push another point. Scree will put Transcendence. Not a great Transcendence in my opinion. They didn't have this closed out, but they might just be able to push it in. And that's the self-destruct. Will it take them out? Will they be able to push it back on? Theomatic just doesn't get it back on in time, and they will take this next match, and they will go into the finals.
It's been fantastic for them so far. Been a bit lacking in terms of it's been a bit lacking in terms of staying power for this Hidden Llamas team. They don't manage, even if they find a couple of picks, it seems like they just go a little bit too far and drop off a couple of members.
Indeed, yes. So we've got this next push coming up. Valiant Goblins are hardest to stay on that first point. Like you say, Hidden Llama's play was a little bit sloppy in that last point there, and I got a bit excited. I may have given some misinformation out. I do apologize. We do still have a point that they do need to take. If Valiant Goblins can hold this, it will mean an absolute crushing defeat on Hidden Llama's side, but we'll see what they pick out. Look like they're just choosing a very strong, solid play. ELK or Elk going back onto that Junkrat, showing us what he can do, using those concussion mines. It could be great on this map, especially with there's so many corridors that he can throw those bombs down. Silent Storm doing his thing, back on the soldier, pulling out the assault rifle, playing a bit of CSGO here, and he's going to continue to rain down those bullets on top of Hidden Llamas.
He has been absolutely fantastic so far, and hopefully wanting to repeat that performance. They do have this shield, as you said, from Golden Eagle, so he's going to have a lot of free reign to work with. Yeah,
what I really want to see here is Hidden Llamas create some space this game. A lot of the time they're playing on the back foot. Valiant Goblins is really dominating and creating the flow of the game, and it's really up to Hidden Llamas to react. So maybe they need to be the dominant ones in this push, and they need to create the flow of the game.
They definitely want to be playmaking when you've got so much damage from Silent Storm if you don't start to deal with him.
He creates a lot of tempo, and they're going to push onto this first point here. Theomatic just throwing out those sounds. Socky will take down ELK here and begin the fight on a good point. Like I said, he's making the plays, and now they've got that peck. They really need to push in on top of that Orisa shield.
They need to use this fire to try and get a flank line. Then now he's got an open firing field, and Silent Storm's going to take him out with a Helix rocket. Yet again, Silent Storm being absolutely fantastic on this soldier, but when Farquhar is here to back him up, it just looks so clean.
Lunashai taking down Orisa here, but will go down himself. Christopher really doing his best to take down Farquhar, but just staying his own there. Breathes deeply, and everything's just going to be okay for him. Continues to push on to Extract. Whiffs the dash a little bit, and Farquhar will take the opportunity to hook him back in.
This Farah is going to have to do a little bit more work and deal with Silent Storm better if he's going to really have an impact on this match.
We've seen Farquhar do some amazing hooks this game. Pulled in Lunashai at the beginning of that fight, taking it out from Sandstorm. Will take the headshot onto Soki, and it will begin the fight again. Christopher's pulling in with a 5v6. This could be interesting.
The Valkyrie popped by the Mercy, but it's not really finding too much. Silent Storm popping his ultimate, finding that Farah, as you see so often with this ultimate. He's going to deal with Nero. Not about. He just needed to reload. He was so close. But Nero is going to try and be aggressive onto him alongside that Farah.
Fearmatic, I don't think the res there was too important. We'll get taken down by the bombs and Silent Storm coming out from Golden Eagle there. Really, really nice. We'll stag them a little bit more. And with only 2 minutes on the clock, things are starting to look quite dire here, Rock.
You know, and Silent Storm has been just working up a storm. He's been absolutely massive, and there is nothing they've been doing to stop him. In fact, they're running directly into his line of play, which they're finally stop doing that by swapping into this dive. Extract going to stop out from getting anything more.
Yeah, Extract does a nice little play there and dashes into the tire. A last minute play to try and stop them from taking down any of their important players. Fearmatic in the back here. Sandstorm will take him down, just showing how perfect his aim is, and the Coalescence does come out here.
Fantastic. And Christopher going to get taken out, and that's another reset for the Hidden Llamas.
Rock, that fight ended so quickly. Like Fearmatic went in, got taken down by Silent Storm. ELK threw down the bombs. Just shows how quickly they can focus. The identification of where the chinks in the armor of Hidden Llamas has been phenomenal this match.
Yeah, and we see this spam come out from Elk, and he manages to find so much damage as they just move on to him. And even with this dive, they're only finding one pick, and that doesn't seem to be enough, as if we take the other fights as proof. And they're finding two, making it almost 3. Yeah, Extract takes out Elk there, and that's looking like exactly what they need to start pushing through here.
Yeah, some lovely players going out here. Soki making the charge. They just followed him this time, which is what they need to do. Developers will go down here. Farquhar doing his best to stay alive. Pulse Bomb will finally take him out. That Pulse Bomb really spelled doom for that poor guy. You don't think you can breathe too deeply, and that be okay. And they will continue to push this point. I don't believe that Valiant Goblins might be able to get back in time, actually. Silent Storm jumping on point, and a Riptide comes out here. Rock, that takes down 2 Rock. What are they going to do in this situation?
I don't know, but they're going to have to deal with this Tac Visor coming out from Silent Storm. He manages to pick up one. That bomb's not going to find a thing, and Silent Storm trying to shut them down yet again. It's just Nero, Christopher, and Lunashai on this point now, and they're just running around desperately trying to keep the dream alive. But with this Coalescence, it's not looking like the dream is going to stay alive for very long.
With only 2 meters of 50 left, they can't do anything but stare in horror as their dreams, as you say, die in front of them.
That is just horrifically like bad and just depressing for for the Llama side. They've just was so close, and they decided to commit to it. If the Goblins had committed to that, and if it gone wrong even slightly, it would have gone so well in their favor. But everything went Valiant's way, and there was very little they could do to stop them.
Silent Storm made an incredible decision there to run in, get on point. He knew he had the Orb of Healing on him, so that Orb of Harmony really kept him up during that fight, managed to do a lot of damage. And that Riptire, which initiated the beginning, maybe Lunashai shouldn't have been so cocky up in the skies. That Riptire really showed him a little bit of modesty. And that will be the final. Going to the final for Valiant Goblins, they will be playing against, I'm not sure who they're playing against this next match. I believe it's Blue Sirens. They've been a really, really strong team. It looks like we have a really interesting match coming up.
Yeah, no. Valiant and the Blue Sirens, both 2-0ing Hidden Llamas. Feels kind of sad to be them, but we're going to be seeing possibly something different come out, and maybe a more contested match right now.
Yeah, definitely feels sad, man, for Hidden Llamas. They put up a great fight, though. We've seen both these teams. They were absolutely amazing. Made some really ace plays. I loved seeing them play. Silent Storm, I wasn't too sure how that was going to go down, but it looks like this is the first time I've seen him. He was an absolutely amazing player on that Soldier. And did he play? I think he played Roadhog as well, didn't
He
he?
did, and that Roadhog was a massive in the King's Row map as well. Everything he seems to do has been brilliant.
Yeah, a really great player. We see Scrooty coming back, just being a very solid player in their team. Also, developers. I'd like to highlight his coalescence during those both those games have been really nice, keeping the teams alive. He stays in the back line, throws off his ultimate, uh, tends to pick up quite a few kills as well here and there. So it is really like the entire team is doing a great job to stay on each other's level, and we've got Golden Eagle there doing a great job on the wisdom.
Winston has been rather impressive so far. It managed to find a lot of really nice engages along Farquhar's brilliant diva, which just brought the pain.
So we won't be moving on to the last map here. We'll be seeing Sirens coming into the game very, very shortly to head off the final goblins. Are we going to take a quick break here whilst that gets sorted?
Yeah, I think we are. Gonna move to break. So catch you all in a jiffy. Hello and welcome back to the finals of the AEO Monday Madness. We're going to be picking up the final pug game of the week. Yeah, obviously tryouts isn't a pug game. We're going to be doing the final pug game of the week, pug series of the week between Valiant Goblins and Hidden Llamas. I mean, it's going to be on Blizzworld. Are you excited for this, Blank?
Pretty excited for this. We've only seen this once before tournament setting. We know that the high ground is really important on this map. We're looking for some nice dive comps. We want some real defensive comps on the defense side. What we really like to see on this map is a strong push through on the street side. And what we tended to see last time, Rock, was that if you have a really nice foothold on the last point, you can quite easily hold it.
Yeah, no, man. We're going to be getting to the game right now. It's already getting in there very quick and very exciting action coming right up for you. And you'll be seeing it in all of its majesty. Blizzard World certainly looks brilliant.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous map. I really love all the beginning, especially the beginning. I love all the statues. Really amazing. Blizzard done a great job here. So we're going to move into this map. We have Snacks Ramus. We have the Fargo Deep Mine, and we have Flight to Dustwood, all great flanking points. Something that Blue Sirens definitely take advantage of, but we've seen from the last match on King's Row especially that we've got, what are their names again? I'm forgetting.
Blue Siren?
No, other one, Valiant Goblins, that's the one. But we've seen that Valiant Goblins strangers to sitting back and taking the great defense here.
It's obviously not Hidden Llamas, it's Blue Siren. We've just had a spectator bug, but we can't change the names, unfortunately. But it's okay. We all know. We know who they are. We've got it up on the UI as well, so it's all sorted. But just to make sure that everyone knows what we're talking about.
So we've got Silent Storm on Soldier. We know he's a soldier, great aim, manages to take tracers out whilst they're zipping around the map. We're looking at developers more the Coalescence, hoping he can bring out some nice stalls on this first point. EOK going to be doing his thing in the front, popping down those traps, popping down those concussion mines, looking for a sneaky little bear kill. But we'll see how it goes down. We've definitely going to see a nice little dive comp coming out from the Blue Sirens on the enemy team, and we know Immune can really use that Genji.
Interesting to see this team setting up on the high ground, which generally you don't see teams set up on because it is really awkward to get from here to the site. And when you deal with that Pharah who can push you off, it's going to be really hard. Elk, however, finding a pick early on is just pretty much a story of how this Junkrat's been working for them so far.
And we see back on Rayson, he comes out for this final match. Kind of stayed in the back seat for the past couple of games, expecting his teams to do the rest, and indeed they did. And we saw that lovely little hook that actually brought it in and let Golden Eagle pick up that final kill. So they're just creating a lot of pressure from this top point right now, and we see ELK with those lovely bombs. But they're going to try to take this right side push and see what they can do.
They're looking for a lovely, lovely flank, and so far they've gone unnoticed. Finally, Prioritaire shows, and they instantly flick their attention to him. He flicks his attention to them as he tries to go up for a contest, but gets popped right away. As they move towards this point, you've got the entirety of the red team moving on to this point. Developers is caught with their pants down as they get absolutely decimated by Immune. And again, we see this these supports just getting caught out because they were on that high ground, which is not a good place to hold. It's so far away, and no one can help you on this point if they're all on the high ground.
Yeah, and Silent Storm with the fancy footwork, but it's not going to keep him alive from Immune. They got Rayson trying his best with the shotguns to stay on point, stay alive. ELK comes in with the tracer, trying to stay alive here, and developers are going to be forced to push off.
I mean, dropping the Dragon Blade pretty unnecessarily, I'm not going to lie to you. I would never have dropped that in a million years because I don't think he swung it more than once.
No, and you really do need that Dragon Blade and those ultimates to push through this final streets phase. There's so many points for ELK here to take up point and throw those bombs down, keeping those corridors clear. We know we've got Rayson and Golden Eagle pulling up the front. Switch over to D.Va here. A nice little play, especially because he can eat those attackers' bombs here, especially the bombs as well coming from Mitchie, because we know those are definitely dangerous.
That's been absolutely massive. Elk certainly showing up on this Junkrat before as well, so definitely someone to watch. A lot of these players are, to be fair, Silent Storm, for example, and Scrutiny.
Really good play here. Got the Riptide coming out. Stalls it out now. Looking for a kill. Will get it onto ELK and Silent Storm. That's 2 big damage dealers going down, and Amu will begin the fight.
Unfortunately, the D.Va bomb hits absolutely nothing, but the red team do not care. They are taking everything. Blue Siren being absolutely massive so far.
Silent Storm doing his best to get back to the fight. Race on DMAC, and they will just let her alone there until Parity does take her down. And it looks like they're just going to clean up house here. Immune popping the Dragon Blade again at the end of the point. A little bit unnecessary, like you said, but it doesn't matter because they will take a nice little push here on the second point. We saw that first team fight happening right in the back. They split up. Valiant and Goblins doing a Blue Sirens, sorry, doing a really great job and beginning a new fight with the D-Mech and the self-destruct.
Yeah, Golden Eagle trying to go forward. His Bongo getting absolutely mashed. But developers still dealing a lot of damage, trying to keep everything going, and it seems like Blue Sirens can't quite tick this over. They're very, very close, but no cigar.
So there we see again from Valiant Goblins doing a great job to stall it out, just like they did on that last map on Route 66. Nice Riptire. What I'm hoping to see again from Blue Sirens here is the split at the beginning. It really confused Valiant Goblins and they weren't sure who to go for, and it kind of scattered them a little bit, which was really nice for creating space, especially since they've got such a heavy, like, condensed team comp right now.
Yeah, and we see this tire coming through. Elk just about managing to kill Immune. Had a very scary moment there when Immune dashed through, but managed to make it work. Riot Man going to be right on top of this backline, but he is taking a lot of damage from this D.Va. Scruty and Rayson doing so much work as we're used to hearing about. Attacker, however, finding a really good tire, and this D.Va bomb could be the thing which seals everything out. Only finds Scruty, but that's going to be enough for him to push through.
Silent Storm doing his best in the back here. Self-destruct will go down again. Won't pick anyone up, and Rayson will stay alive. Trying to wait for his teammates to come back in. ELK does jump back on the point alongside Golden Eagle will drop the shield, but I don't think it's enough. Rayson has been demeched again now.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're investing so many ults to try and make this hold. It's looking so bad for them, but with these ults, they're managing to just about make it work. Both supports ult invested there, but they're finding just about enough kills. But with Developer gonna go down Immune with this Genji ultimate, is gonna find 2, looking for his 3rd, managed to find not only his 3rd but 4 whole kills, and Michi definitely clearing up for him.
A disgusting blade there coming out, taking up the 4K. Really, really nice on that last fight, actually. But they're doing the best they can. There's only 2 minutes 43 left on the time bank, which is actually very nice. Looking very strong for Valiant Goblins. We know these two teams are really good, but if they can hold this last point, it might just help them in the next game here. We see them moving in. There's a little bit of a strong play here. Paratier on the left side, pushing onto Scruty now.
Attack up with this tire, looking for a kill. Oh, just about finds Scruty. Unfortunately for him, Developers manages to shadow step away at the last moment. Golden Eagle taking a lot of damage, but this D.Va bomb is looking big. Manages to pick up Developers who managed to escape them prior. Paratier.
ELK doing a great job on Soldier here.
ELK definitely has a lot of talent on multiple characters, but again, we see Paratier coming through on this D.Va doing so much work alongside his fellow tank.
Managing to push the rest of it in. We see Silent Storm switching over onto the Reaper now, trying his best to create some pressure for his team, because if they continue like this, they're going to push it in. And here we go. Developers pulls out the Coalescence. You know he's really strong with that.
The Coalescence does do so much damage and also gives a lot of healing, but this D.Va bomb is not going to hit anyone, and that's really disappointing for Rayson. This ultimate coming out for Immune is looking to find so much, but he's just finding air.
Golden Eagle's doing his best to stay away, and here comes the second self-destruct. Really nice place. Will go up too far in the air. Silent's still alive here, and it looks like the Blue Siren just can't take this last piece of the cake in this fight.
Another tire coming out, only finds Silent Storm, but that Reaper is a big issue. They're going to have to deal with him at some point, but it just seems like Blue Sirens aren't able to get anything to stick on this last point. They're going to probably have to reset soon and go for that last push. Immune and Prioritier going to be back.
Rayson already with the self-destruct, Silent Storm with Death Blossom. They are just going to have to move off here. They had trouble on the last point and they're having troubles again. Like I said, they just can't quite grab that last piece. They need to push it in. But if they can continue to stall them like this, it's going to go into OT and we're going to have a bit of issues.
Silent aren't very good at finishing, but Silent Storm on this high ground with this Death Blossom could be huge. He knows that the Winston's no longer there. He's looking for a drop down. He's going to get this Death Blossom. Doesn't really find anything due to a brilliant Matrix, but it looked so good. Immune only finds one, but Developers getting a lot of damage down with this Coalescence. This Diva Bomb could be back. Silent Storm going down to Prioritier is not looking... Sorry, Prioritier going down to Silent Storm is looking like the pick they need, but again, Riot Man doing so much work is going to lead to... Oh, wow, no, he leaves off the point, and Ryson and Screechy just about stalling it up. Ryson very low on health, but it's going to finally go down. Silent Storm is here on this Tracer to try and stall it out, but Immune is getting kill after kill. He is the king of dashes and these resets.
Silent Storm staying on point here. Immune will pop Dragon Blade, and that might just be enough to keep them off point as they push it in and take this first point. Did that go into OT there, Rock?
It went into overtime, I'm pretty sure.
That's going to be really, really good for Valiant Goblins, actually, on this next push.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see, because we might see a really quick first point yet again. First point was very quick for Valiant Goblins. Sorry. Yeah, it was, sorry, no. For the Blue Sirens pushing, but Valiant Goblins made a big mistake in sitting on that high ground, I think, and I don't know if they're going to make the same, if Blue Sirens are going to make the same mistake.
I believe it worked out at the beginning. I think it was time to pull off after they made that really wonderful hook. Maybe they should have backed off a little bit. It did stall for 30 seconds and made a bit of a concrete I guess, foothold on this back of the point. We'll see how Blue Sirens go about this, actually. Valiant Goblins, we know, they've got a really strong push in them. They're going to go for... Oh, Rayson's picking out that Zarya we saw yesterday on Sunday scrims. Going to quickly just make a quick shout out to broadcast.gg. They're where we get most of our casters from. That's where me and Rock are from. They do a load of work with casters, a load of work with broadcasting, load of promotion of events, and there's all sorts of help you can get there. Really lovely admin team over there as well. We're AEO. This is Amateur Esports Organization. This is Monday Madness. You can sign up, get assigned to a random team and have fun like these guys are right now. Maybe even find a couple of new friends. We've got Tuesday tryouts tomorrow, which is a tournament-based game, in which case you can bring teams along to fight it out for glory at the end. But we're going to get back to the game now. And Rock, what do you expect to see from Blue Sirens here?
I think I'm expecting to see Razon just get absolutely huge amounts of charge and steamroll. And I feel like that's the way they're really going to win this point. Silent Storm possibly going to have another standout game on this Roadhog. I mean, at this point, it's kind of the norm for him to stand out, so who knows? Yeah,
indeed. They have a really nice 4-tank combo here, really good for pushing power onto the point, staying alive, and they just pushed right round, just exactly like you said, Rock. And the right man's going to jump back onto the point. Eoki hiding in the corner here.
You know, again, they're making the same mistake, our Blue Sirens, and it's not looking good for them so far because Silent Storm is just on this point and he's going off. As per usual, and Razon also on high charge, going to move with them. It's just a matter of time. They're going to take this last point, and that's it. That is a really bloody quick time. Valiant Goblins
exactly.
Just absolutely pacing it.
Demolished, and it looks like they can really finish on this map here. They have the pushing power. They knew exactly what to do. Just ignored them on the high ground. Took the point here and continued to push around. We saw Silent Storm making some amazing hooks, but more importantly, we saw Zarya sticking in the back there, getting the really lovely shields off, and they're going to try pushing from the middle of this point. Prioritier trying to build up some charge now.
I know. And it seems like the blue team are managing to stay on point, staying very much together. They're not going for any sort of dive. They don't really have the right comp for it, but Developers going to go down alongside Scrooty to attack his beautiful tire, and that's going to shut down the push.
So that's both healers down here. That's going to force them to back off. They only have the tanks, and without those heals, things are going to become very, very difficult. Want to keep Razon with that charge up because he is building up a lot right now. And Silent Storm's going to back off. They're going to go for another fight. They've pushed down onto street level, so they no longer have the advantage of the high ground. Maybe they can push through the shield with the fire strikes. There it goes. It goes down. They're going to push onto point now with Golden Eagle as their front. Developers pops that lovely coalescence. We've seen him do it before, and we're going to see it do him again.
Right, man, looking to pop the bongo, but so much after this coalescence, he's going to wait for it to come out and then dropping the beat coming out right away. He's going to try and protect his bongo, but Razon certainly doesn't want anything to happen to keep it alive for any longer. Silent Storm not going to quite find enough with his ultimate, but the return Zarya ult, again, these Zarya ults have been very lackluster. It's just going to be Attacker hitting a raw tire to finish off that fight.
So that was a 2k into a 2k from Attacker there. Really been the key of the fight there. Took out both healers and finisher on the second fight. We saw the Grav go down, but I think it might be time for Valiant to actually switch off, take some proper DPS here. Like ELK is switching off onto DPS, and so is Silent Storm, just like I thought. Here we go. So we're going to see Razon try again with those energy, but we see Immune in the corner here. He does have ultimate. Going to see what he can do.
Golden Eagle getting caught up by Immune, but Immune is just going to have to Wraith Form to get out of there. He bit off a little bit more than he could chew, but Elk on this high ground could almost take down the Riot Man, but the Riot Man, he has friends in high places, and they're going to keep him alive.
A really nice switchback from ELK, taking the point, taking a really nice positioning. We can see Attacker beneath him though. Golden Eagle is forcing him off the point. Parateer is in a terrible spot. That Discord is on top of him, and Silent Storm takes out the Orisa. Will continue to chase down Attacker here. Not much he can do versus a Pharah in the skies.
Yeah, especially not as a Junkrat, and Silent Storm, it's been uncontested so far on this map, and I think we're going to see Attacker possibly swap off of that Junkrat onto a hit scan. No, we're not, and I think that could be it. That could actually seal this this second point, sorry, for Valiant Goblin, because there is no hit scan.
Yeah, like you're saying, Immune does have that ultimate up, but maybe it is time to switch off that Reaper. They have nothing to counter, but they will take down ELK there, but Razon is still alive, and so is Silent Storm. This might just be enough. There's nothing to counter that Pharah in the skies.
And I think we're probably going to see a swap, and that's why he used the ultimate so aggressively. Silent Storm going to go down to Michi, and that's exactly what you need to see, to be honest with you. And his second one going down to Michi. Michi definitely popping off yet again on this Zenyatta, a frag hero of sorts.
Of course, he's done a really great job today. Definitely the highlight player of the day. We're going to see them back off now, and Developer's just going to try and build up some energy for a Nectar. Actually, he's already got Coalescence. Razon on 88%, EOK 81%. They're all got a massive amount of ults, but same with the enemy team. But Michi will take Silent Storm down again.
Who needs a hit scan when you have this Zenyatta? I mean, even though they swapped Immune onto that McCree.
Maybe they just kept Michi on Zenyatta and just said, you know what, you can do the job, dude. Let's just keep Immune on Death Reaper and let Michi take out those frags in the sky.
No, Razon has the ultimate now, so they're looking for a setup, but they've got to watch out for Attacker's tires. So far, Attacker's tires have been brilliant. No one's seen them coming, and here it is in the background. They're going to try and attack it, but Elk managing to take it out at the last possible second and turning his fire onto Riot Man straight away.
Valiant continue to push in here. Maybe a bit of a mistake with only 1 minute 20 on the clock. Every minute counts at this point.
This ultimate coming out from developers is a little bit interesting, especially alongside that Transcendence. Not quite what I was expecting to see, but oh, that is not looking good for the blue team. But we see Silent Storm drop his ult, and it's just going to get completely shut down. Elk's ultimate, however, is going to do a lot of work, and they're going to push it through to this final point.
They were scared a lot of that fight with Blue Sirens. Not sure how the point actually got in so well, because the barrage and the Grav combo onto the single Zarya, not really great in this situation. So they're going to have to deal with Alravan here very low. Maybe Golden Eagle can take him out, but we'll get caught in a nasty bear trap on top of the Discord.
Now when Razon is going to go down to Michi yet again, finding those frags alongside Attacker.
Silent Storm now on Genji, seeing if he can do what he Immune did on this last map, and use that blade to finish out those last frags here.
Silent Storm definitely looking for some sort of ult charging, and finding those last frags would definitely be a good opportunity to do so. Silent Storm looking for a way in. He's up in Pirate's face, but the people that are distracted with the rest of his team who they're killing, and he's going to have to fall back. They cannot take this fight.
Tyra again, attacker bringing it onto the back point. We'll take the 2k onto Silent Storm developers, and that will push them back a lot. They're going to be 8 seconds on the clock before they can go back out again. Only 1 minute 22. They don't have long, and the payload's not been pushed very far at all. We see Blue Sirens with a really consistent defense here. Immune doing a great job getting those picks, and the Riot Man really doing a good job pulling them all together, so Rayson can make those nice picks there.
Old Meagle diving right on top of this high ground, but a Winston trying to deal with tanks, it's not exactly what you want to be doing with the character, but he does in fact pop Primal Rage, gets slept, but gets woken up straight away. That's not what you want to see. Michi gonna go down to him, and that pick could be really big, taking away that major player in Blue Siren's clan.
Scrudy making a questionable transcendence here, not really protecting anyone, and ELK will go down to self-destruct here. This could be terrible for Valiant here.
Valiant
here will be demeched.
Yeah, no, they've been demeched, and that's going to be a pushback. They've only got one more left, and they've got little to no ults in comparison, because there's 5 ults on the side of Blue Sirens, but only 2, and maybe 3 if Rayson can find a little bit of that extra damage just before this fight. And moving into this fight.
So we're going to need to see
a lot of ults coming out from Blue Sirens to try and keep this out. Attacker and Riot Man both dropping theirs, and Immune looking for a position to drop his, and he does indeed. And no one's going to contest. Oh, no. Yeah, no one's going to be contesting this over time. There's no way they can.
really clean defense on that last point from Blue Sirens. Not sure what happened to Valiant there. They just didn't have the ability to push through, and Blue Sirens in those little close quarters did a great job. Immune on that McCree, making those shots where he needed them to be, giving the enemy team their dose of iron for the day. But we'll see what happens next in the next game. Hopefully Valiant can bring it back. They make some great plays here and there, but a lot of the time they're a little bit inconsistent on points. Sometimes they're godly, sometimes they're a bit sloppy.
Yeah, and if they can start to fix that out, it will look absolutely brilliant for them. They need to sort out getting Rayson to really show up here. He was lacking a little bit in comparison to previous form, and we definitely want to see him return to that. So.
Yep, we really do. What we want to see on this next match is we can see from is that they might not have these amazing plays that come out from Valiant, but they definitely have the consistency. And versus consistency and amazing plays, if you don't get those amazing plays often, consistency is really going to win out on this place, especially when they're so good at playing this attrition battle. They had a bit of a bad point with that very first Volskaya type initiation where Valiant's kind of just ignored them, went around the side, took up a really nice place, and then continued on. What we really want to see is... and Rayson's wanting to swap me out. Do you think I can play this match? So we're on a couple of subs coming in. I think, Rock, you're going to have to switch these guys. They want Alraven and MJB been switched out.
Alrighty, sorry about that. I just had to quickly sort something out. And now we are back. Who did we want to get swapped?
We need to get
MJB and Alravan.
Yeah.
So spectators and MJB into the red team. Alravan. You can only watch red. If you want to watch the whole thing, you have to watch the stream. As it should be. Anyway, I'm going to swap the map over. What's the next map? I believe it is Temple of Anubis. And then we're going to get right into the game if everyone's ready. To Anubis. Where's Anubis? There it is. Alright. Rayson and Michi are on different teams, so we're all good. Alrighty. Hi chat. Remember, Mike, to tell me if they need a pause going through as we get into the game.
Will do. Don't worry about that. They called me the pause master because I definitely use that to my advantage whenever I play video games, just not Overwatch.
Well, that's good. We don't want any pause meta here. No pause meta, boys.
Pausing every 2 seconds. All right. Now we're going to analyze this play here. Definitely not the Super Bowl we're playing today.
No, we've got Raison on this May, and this is going to be that eraser boost that we know about, that we've seen a couple of times in the Overwatch League, and we saw yesterday, in fact, I think, from Raison and Teen.
Yeah, we did. We saw them take a point up on the top side. Unfortunately, they don't actually have a Widowmaker to really create that pressure on the top side there. The high ground really is dominated by a Widowmaker in this case, and Michi says to us that he can play it. We see him making those amazing headshots on Zenyatta, so we'll just see how he plays out when he picks out the true sniper of the game.
Interesting to see that there's no return sniper. Silent Storm, I'd love to see him on a sniper. He has been brilliant so far, and see him on it again would be great. He's, however, missing a couple of jumps. A little bit disappointing in him. He does not have
Yeah, a little bit sad. It's not too hard. You can get up there.
You can't actually make it up there when you're in this situation. He needs the boxes to be able to make it up, much like Zarya, if I remember correctly. So he can't actually make it up there.
As he just ruined all chances of winning this game by destroying the boxes.
They're just throwing.
Boxes MVP.
Yeah, no. Silent Storm, however, going to take a different spot with that box jump. And it's going to provide a fight for its team. A pincer movement.
So we will say actually Raison switch onto the Widowmaker here. A lot of damage going onto Orisa's shield here. ELK doing his best to keep the damage away from it. They will go onto the left side here, see what they can do. Maybe pull off something, but they will ignore it and go straight onto developers here who will draw their attention away, stalling them out for a little bit longer.
Silent Storm definitely caught out there, and it's going to have to move back to find a better position.
We see Attacker already on 64% of their ult, and they're going to jump in and begin this fight, but he just misses the jump there.
Oh, Golden Eagle gets picked off by Michi. Michi finding Raison. That has been brilliant so far. Scrooty, however, definitely showing up on this Zenyatta.
Developers doing a great job to keep them off the point. Michi's got free reign in the sky, though. Oh, actually, he's still up.
Elk being really big on this D.Va. We've seen a couple of swaps coming, and we've seen Raison move over to this Widow because they need that Widow to try and counter back to Michi. And it's just... Sorry, no. They were always running Widow. They swapped onto the Winston. From that.
Ooh, Raison with that lovely pick on Michi there. And that's going to prevent Blue Sirens coming any further into the point. They're going to have to wait until the Michi comes back in the fight.
Yeah, Immune getting forced off by that bubble, but Raison yet again finding that pick, and it's the Riot Man this time on the Zenyatta, not Michi, so he has nothing to be scared about.
It's massive taking those picks every time, especially when they're so staggered out like that. It's f***ing Blue Sirens to just slow their push down over and over. And if we can see Michi hit Raison hit another shot, it could be really, really horrifying for Blue Sirens here, because you need a lot of points, a lot of time on these points, because 2CP is quite difficult to take.
If you find those couple of picks, it's a little looking Gucci for you, but they haven't managed to actually collapse on it normally, as most teams normally do.
We see Immune in the background here, seeing what he can pick up, so he's waiting for his team to engage on, and there's the pick from in the fight. Looks like Immune's going to come from the backside.
Yeah, it's going to be a great dive coming out from this Blue Siren side, but the Transcendence is going to take everything. In fact, Silent Storm popping his ult, looking super good, but Scrooty going down to Immune. It's not what you want to see. That bomb hitting at nothing but air, and Immune still on this point.
Silent Storm's still alive, doing his best. Helix Rockets does take out Photon, but he's in the background now, and ELK is there, focused. We've got Raison in the top, trying to do his best, going to take out Michi here, but Michi will get the sniper duel off.
Yeah, no, Michi has been consistently winning these sniper duels so far, and that's a testament to how good a player he is in terms of aim, and that's why we saw him on Zenyatta being so dominant.
Silent Storm went down there, could have been a lot of trouble for Valiant, but it looks like they are going to back off now, and Silent Storm's going to try to pick up a new position. Rayson does do the smart thing here, picks off onto McCree, doesn't want them taking the jump on him as they rush onto second here.
Silent Storm looking for a pick. Trying to deal damage to Michi, but alongside Elk. Elk has been absolutely everywhere on this D.Va when he's had the opportunity to be in. He's going to start to deal with these players again, going a little bit deep for my liking, but he manages to make it work. MJB going to get punished for being far too aggressive in the face of these two tanks.
Golden Eagle really being ELK's brother-in-law here, just having his back at every single point. You see him dropping those shields, keeping him alive, making sure he can do his thing, being aggressive. You don't see divas like that very often, but when you do, it's a real joy to see them work in action.
If he's the mother, he's the brother-in-law. The wife is definitely Scrooty, keeping that Harmony Orb up on those tanks a lot, and it's really important to try and give them enough sustain to get through those points.
We're really going to have to see we're really have to see ELK push on that ultimate charge, because without the D.Va on this point, it's going to be really difficult, especially when, and they're going to push onto the point quickly and take the first pick.
Yeah, and Immune is using his Dragon Blade to full effect, finding a great few picks and going to lead his team to starting to, oh wow, that was a mistake from Immune, peeking out for a second and going down to Elk.
So we have the two tanks on point right now, desperately trying to keep them up. Silent Storm comes to attack Visor, see what he can do, but gets bashed back by the monkey on the enemy team.
Riot Man keeping it being kept in the corner, but it's going to be this D.Va Bomb, which yet again hits nothing. They've been a little bit lackluster, but this High Noon from Razon is probably going to close out this fight. They haven't even gotten a tick, and that was some beautiful shooting from him.
Absolute clutch Deadeye there coming out and really preventing the charge. Immune's going to still be in the fight there, will be taken down. Just sit still, lets them shoot him in the head, and he's going to reset here, and Pirateer goes back. But D.Va and Golden Eagle don't let him. Going to continue on the charge here onto Pirateer.
He's going to get probably reset here, and that is devastating for this for Blue Sirens, in fact, because they will not have that D.Va to try and DM as they go in, and they're building up ult actually pretty quickly, so it's not too much of an issue because Riot Man and Pirateer deal so much damage to Razon and pick them off. Good dive coming in from MJB, but Scrooty is going to punish him for being a little bit overzealous. This bomb is going to hit absolutely nothing, but this D.Va Bomb, however, is yet again going to hit absolutely nothing. These soldiers are trying to pop their ults and getting work done, but Michi only finding one.
Developer's waiting for his point to use that Coalescence. And use it now, but he's very low, and he's just going to take him picked right off. Rayson does have Deadeye, and we'll see if he can make a nice clutch play like he did last time.
Immune has been hitting some really, really nice Dragon Blades. I've been really rather impressed with that. So, great job from him so far.
We do have Primal Rage here to try and stall out the fight. Developer's taking a lot of damage here from Immune. Absolutely popping off, takes the 4K on this fight, and Rayson, the new lead Reaper, just gets immediately removed from the fight here.
Yeah, Golden Eagle just trying to drop this Primal Rage in order to stall it out because there's still a decent amount of time on this clock, and Silent Storm with that Pulse Bomb is looking to try and actually stop them from even getting the first tick, and Rayson on this Reaper is definitely making a case for that.
Such an amazing stall there. Poor Immune does so much damage, gets all the kills, but like a torn war leader, just cannot keep his troops up with him, and they just will fall to the rest of his team.
Reminds me a little bit of the Warsong Commander nerfs. No one can be quite so fast anymore.
Yeah, indeed. It was a sad, sad day to see that charge leave.
But we're going to see the red team, Blue Sirens, move on to the right-hand side, looking for a dive to point, and that D.Va Bomb is going to be the engaging factor. Doesn't actually quite hit anyone, so doesn't really give them all too much, and MJB perhaps too aggressive, but manages to find Developers. Razon not finding the kill quickly enough. It's going to be Scrooty having to drop this Transcendence and try and keep the point contested. Immune dropping this Dragon Blade yet again. Can he find more? He does indeed, and it's looking so good for him.
Scrooty making an awful mistake there using the Transcendence so early. Immune has that Dragon Blade up all the time, needs to wait it out in this case. But ELK will be able to attack it down with the bomb there. May give them just enough time to get back on point.
They're going to stop him just before this second tick, and Bracel's going to go down, however. It's going to be this Primal Rage. It's going to be the big issue that they're going to have to try and chew through. D.Va Bomb as well is going to be scary. Attacker coming back with the to try and join the rest of his team, but they're going to have to deal with so much health.
Rayson does have ultimate. Actually leaves off, goes on to Doomfist here, tries to see if he can make any picks. Doesn't manage to pick anyone up. Golden Eagle will take down Rayson, Pirateer, and then the Zenyatta next.
Immune dropping his second ult of the fight. Not really finding too much, but his team manages to close it out anyway because MJB on that Winston was absolutely devastating.
Really, really nice first round from Blue Sirens. Immune really doing a lot of the heavy lifting there, Rock, right?
Yeah, no. Well, he was a little bit lackluster with his second ult on the point there, but MJB managing to put in his weight.
Definitely. We have that first fight been picked up. Attacker's doing a good job on Moira there. Scrutiny really messing up quite a few times with the transcendence far too early, in my opinion. I think if he'd waited it out, stalled it out, he knew that Dragon Blade was what was going to cause a lot of damage in that fight. And if he transcends the correct point, might be able to keep his team alive.
It was so close, but Raison going to be back on this Widow, and they weren't winning any of the fights prior, but this time they won't have to be dealing with Michi, as we can see. Michi will be back on that Zenyatta and fragging off on that instead.
Exactly. So we'll see if he can make some.
Yeah.
Widowmaker again.
Yeah. Apologies for interrupting you. You keep on cutting out a little bit. You might want to check your mic later today. But yeah, we're going to be seeing Raison here, and he's going to be looking to take that high ground. But the issue is for the for Blue Sirens is that there's no one really to contest that. You might have Pirateer trying to get that hook, but even then it's going to be hard for them. Hello?
Sorry, I was just trying to quickly reset the mic very quickly. Make sure I'm not cutting out too much this match. Hopefully it's better now, I guess.
I mean, you haven't cut out yet, but we'll see anyway. And we'll see how the result of this game goes. After some brilliant offense from Blue Sirens, they're now going to move towards the defense.
Indeed, so we're going to see them move forward here. We're going to see if Raison can make that pick. They do have a very strong team. They've got the Winston, the Diva, and the Dive with the Genji. So I think they're going to wait for a nice little pick from Raison. He's shown us that he can do it, and it's only the right man who's going to prevent them from making any points. Golden Eagle does jump in here nice and quick.
Gets picked off right away, but this seems like the story of every first fight. Golden Eagle is far too overzealous. He gets picked early. Raison has to fall back. He cannot contest it if he has no friends.
We see Michi doing what Michi does best, and it's fragging for the DPSs once again.
I think he was born to be a DPS player.
Maybe. A terrifying Zenyatta. Just really evil. I kind of wish he did have skins on, because I assume that he would be using the cultist skin.
Of course. He's a man of culture as well, so... Gonna be trying to get frags onto this Silent Storm, who is... I don't know what he was doing up there. He was just doing some kind of Genji wall run, trying to make himself look fancy, but exposing himself to a lot of damage, and it could have been really bad if the right click was landed onto him there.
Just not enough commitment here coming out from the Valiants. Not rushing through the bottom point, sticking around too long, letting Attacker pick up some nice little frags there with the bombs he's throwing down at the choke. And then Wilpo on the right side, but it looks like Blue Sirens is ready for them.
Yeah, Blue Sirens are going to have to drop down onto this point and deal with it. MJB dropping that Coalescence as soon as he possibly can, but Attacker doing so much damage, being absolutely fantastic on this Junkrat. Managing to take
getting
out
that 3K there, just amazing coming out from Attacker. Like you said, absolutely disgusting plays, and we'll just completely shut down. And looks like Blue Sirens will just immediately restabilize on this match.
Ooh, Elk getting popped right at the end of that fight. That is painful to watch, and he's going to have to recharge his ultimate.
So we see Michi's got Transcendence still. He's just been holding on to that for so long. Attacker's still got Riptire. They've got so many options here. We've got developers and Scrutiny with two, no, I wouldn't say lackluster ultimates, but they need to be aligned with something different.
Right, man, finding Elk is big here. He's going to get reset just as he was about to get his mech back. Raison on this back line, looking for some sort of flank.
So we're going to have to see if Silent Storm can use that Dragon Blade effectively in this upcoming fight.
Yeah, Attacker dropping the tire again. The tire from him so far has been pretty impressive. Manages to find Silent Storm. So pivotal. It's going to stall them even longer.
And you had those games earlier where It looked like Silent Storm was bringing up the storm, but this game he has indeed been quite silent.
He's been looking like a light drizzle.
Yes. Like how it always is here in Stoke-on-Trent, just a light drizzle. Very cold in England at the moment.
But hopefully have this to warm our hearts, and we're going to see hopefully a good dive engage coming out from Golden Eagle, not too overzealous. I mean, that's not looking like a good start, but the Coalescence is going to help keep him up.
Parity pulling in there.
Immune dropping that ultimate, doing so much work, but there's so much threat on the back line, but they just get shut down. MJB originally playing on multiple roles, but gonna really show up on this Moira.
Definitely not even giving Screwed any chance to use Transcendence here. Immune drops attack visor, gets the free K, is in a great position. Right man being his right hand man here, and just keeping the shield around him at all times. And MJB giving him some nice med packs from behind.
Gonna see the Dragon Blade come out from Silent Storm. He's gonna find one, finds two, finds three. That's looking brilliant for him. Needs to find more picks if he can take out this Arisa. That's gonna be the point going over, but they haven't got very long for the next point. With a beautiful
And that's
peak kill.
Massive coming out from Silent Storm there, showing us that he's not so silent after all. Really makes me eat my words a little bit. And they're going to be able to actually push onto the second point with 3 minutes 58. It is quite a lot of time that they get, because obviously you get a full 4 minutes for taking the first point. They might just be able to take this before overtime, depending on how things go.
We see Pirateer trying to just do a little bit of damage, but perhaps exposing themselves a bit too much. Only 3 ultimates on the side of on the side of Valiant Goblins. They're gonna need to use them, put them to good use. This Pulse Bomb could be really big. Doesn't really find anything. Only finds Pirateer's mech, and that's not really enough, to be honest with you. Primal Rage being forced out, and they're gonna move on to the point. Oh, that's a good tire, finding Silent Storm, and Silent Storm, having performed so much, is not gonna be able to do it when he's dead.
Both the supports here doing a lot of damage, man, to keep them out of there. Rayson does pick up the kill onto Attacker, and it's only developers with an ult left to contest. MJB does have the EMP that they need to watch out for now.
Getting aggressed onto MJB with that Sombra, dropping the ultimate right on his face, and unloading a bunch of bullets for good measure. Really good multi-role talent coming out from MJB, as he now switches onto the Sombra, and it's looking fantastic.
We see Silent Storm picking up the Dragon Blade now. See what we can do in this next fight. But like you said, that Sombra pick was kind of questionable. If they'd pushed on straight away, they might have made something out of it. But now that MJB's had some time to set up, it could be absolutely devastating for Valiance here.
MJB's just getting away with so much. He's being very aggressive with Sombra, and no one's really checking him. He has his ultimate up again as they move on to the point. As soon as Shruti drops his Coalescence, I assume... No! He tries to stop Silent Storm from dropping his, but gets it through anyway. Michi's Coalescence is going to shut him down, and it's looking like a good hold, unless this tire hits absolutely nothing and goes find Golden Eagle.
Really, really nice start to that fight. Scrooty popping the ultimate straight away, knowing that the EMP would be coming out and stopping him before he could even do anything, and removing all his shield. So very smart play there coming out from him, but just not enough been doing from both the DPSs on Valiance at the moment. What we need to see is a little bit more action from Valiance right now, and to be honest with you, all Blue Sirens need to do is just keep up this absolutely devastating defense.
Steve Bomb could be another page in that story. Bit of a boring page, to be honest. Bit of filler. Doesn't go quite as planned, but still, Raison on this Barra could be exactly what they need. There is no hit scan for this red team. Blue Sirens. But you got to watch out, because Michi is still pretty good, and he can right-click.
That's indeed. So we might be able to see the end of this novel soon, to be honest with you. But Immune goes down to Developer's ult, just amazingly done, using that ult Coalescence really well, as usual, throughout these matches.
Raison being absolutely uncontested, and as I said, they're not contesting him, so he can just have free reign and rain justice from above.
There's no ultimate coming out from MJB here, so they don't have to worry about that. Michi taking a lot of damage. Barrage comes out from Raison, takes the free K. Absolutely amazing, and that's massive for this fight. They're going to have to keep Parity off the point. Doomfist comes on from Attacker.
You know, the Transcendence popped by the by the Valiant Goblins, but Silent Storm is going to find Immune, and this is a really good hold. They're just about going to keep it out if they can just shut down this Winston. He's going to go down, only a matter of time, and yeah, they're going to take... Oh, no! The final few seconds, we see the Doomfist jump on and put a stop to that. Scrooty managing to find the Doomfist, though, and he's absolutely fragging out so far. Looking for that right click, gonna get that mate. It's only a matter of time. But it looks
They want to get this onto overtime, and that's it. And it's been great by them. If they can get this onto OT, it's going to be absolutely crazy. This is going to be an amazing last match to watch.
It is going to go to both overtime, and that's round 2 complete after a bit of a hard graft on that last point.
Definitely. They did a great job of stalling it out to overtime. Very smart by them to do the Doomfist into the May pick. Like you said, though, MJB coming at that point at the very last second really caused a lot of upset for poor Valiant. Thought they had the point. Whole hog in his hand. He knew what he was doing, and he was just so happy about it, but it just got shut down by attacker jumping on the point just ever too quickly.
And I think I'd really like to commend the teams for the amount of switching they're doing mid-match. Because there's so much adaptation going on. It's brilliant. I love to see it when you have such a vibrant meta as we currently do.
Yeah, definitely. There's some really interesting plays coming out from both teams. It's lovely to see this back and forth from them both. Like we were saying earlier, they both seem like they're very equalized teams. Valiant's doing their very, very best to keep on the defense here. They're going to go for the same tactic again, but we're really going to might see Mitchie. He's going to pull up the Lucio, because we're going to see either a left or a right speed push. Especially from Immune, the right man, MJB on that quad tank Meta.
No, it's going to be interesting to see, but Raison is going to have trouble to snipe them because of how much health they have and because of that shield.
Definitely, they know what they're running into, and this is a really smart choice by them.
Going low pretty early, but he does have that take a breather, and he does indeed as they move on to this point. Still going pretty low. It's not looking good for him. He gets picked off straight away. Scrooty doing so much damage from the high ground. No one's seen him yet, and he's just unloading ball after ball into head after head, and he's just absolutely popping off. No one's stopping him because we've got Golden Eagle just taking so much of the, like, he's taking so much vision from the team, and he's also unloading his clip after clip.
Raison finding those picks finally in the end on the squishies. Really perfect play, and we saw EOK there jump down and push them all into the corner there. Poor blue sirens were really popping off the siren then, of course, but they couldn't do anything but watch in horror as EOK pumped those shotguns into their faces whilst they were stuck in the corner there.
Golden Eagle trying to keep them back, but they're just about gonna dive on in overtime, and they're taking so much damage it doesn't really matter. Yet again, showing up on this Diva has been absolutely brilliant. And this bomb is coming in. Doesn't quite...
Attack Visor from Silent Storm doing a lot of jobs there.
No, the main part of that job is just dealing damage, and he's doing so much of it. Just going to take out Immune in a matter of time.
Really, really nice plays there from Valiant. You see Raison getting those picks. He didn't have time to switch off, but still made the most of that Widow play. But really, the highlight definitely goes to Scrooty there, picking up the really nice plays at the beginning, getting enough damage to get that ultimate in, and then just using it to defend them so well on that first point there.
Bloody brilliant, and developers still on this Moira. I'm not complaining. They've looked so good on it, and I want to see more of it.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Some really nice coalescence coming out. Probably one of the most consistent players that we've seen throughout all these games. His coalescences and his healing have been top notch.
Just gonna check my mic. Is this better? Probably, yeah. People complaining about how I was pretty quiet there for a second. Elk gonna be on this Roadhog now. No longer playing that Diva that they were doing so well on before, but hopefully we're gonna see some good plays on that too. Raison back on this Pharah. This Pharah is gonna be red with a pick from Immune on that McCree, so not possibly gonna be as effective as it was prior.
Maybe a little bit more of a smart play here, though. They're going to be able to create some space with Raison in the air, and Scrooty going to hopefully get some kills. Golden Eagle walking in with the Orisa. Maybe a little bit strange. Haven't really seen that on this map, especially on offensive. But we're definitely going to see Silent Storm making those plays on the side, unless he goes down here at the beginning.
And looking for Race on to find this poke damage as they move in, but this Orisa on the offense is a little bit interesting from Golden Eagle, and Silent Storm going to get picked off by Immune right away. That's not looking good for them.
Really nasty flashbang there coming out from Immune. Wonderful for the offense. Tries to pull him and will take Immune in, but he will survive the Orb family, keeping him very healthy.
No, but that's a great flashbang to actually pause out Elk and stop him from taking a breather. However, we see Razon having to turn around with Pirateer and finish it and then get finished off.
This could be really interesting to see them actually lose out on this one tick point that they only need. Tracer is on it, going for the back cat, but just not strong enough for Immune getting those picks. Really been very strong this first point.
Yeah, Immune countering both of the DPSs coming out from the Valiant Goblin side, and the High Noon coming, managing to pick up developers so close. Really got some balls to do that in the face of a Roadhog who isn't going to hook you. But Silent Storm and Golden Eagle trying to turn this back around. Pirateer very low. Probably going to go down in a matter of time to Silent Storm, but Attacker finding so much damage on this Junkrat, going to take out Golden Eagle, and it's only Silent Storm. The rest of his team is so far away and not looking good.
Really doing his best to stay on point. Developers comes in with Coalescence, but it's just not enough. And looks like Blue Sirens will take the draw on this match.
No, and it's going to be that. That's just a draw. So, what do we do for the score there? I don't actually know.
So I assume we're going to play one final one to determine the winner. And if they draw out on that, then we're going to have to go to Oasis. The tiebreaker match.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Right. Going to transition over, and that takes up to 1, 2. Update. Right, there we go. We're moving back to the lobby now. Sure. Settings. What's the next map? The next map is Ilios. Ilios! That's exciting. I love watching Ilios because there is so much action that goes on, and you see so many boops and environmental kills, and they're really quite fun.
And we've got two really, really good Orisa players and two really, really good Roadhog players, so we could see some funny hooks into the trash bin in the middle of that map.
I'm just going to check if everyone's... okay, we're putting a Farquhar. Swap to red team. Just going to check if everyone's ready. I assume you're ready, Blank?
I'm always ready. Except when I'm not.
Let me check actually with Matsukida. Plus. Just checking. Okay, apparently 0's out. Who are we swapping out? We're swapping out Attacker. Where's Attacker?
Who got the win on Blizzard World though?
I know. Blizzard World.
Yes.
It was Blue Sirens, if you remember correctly. If I remember correctly.
So it's 1-0 to Blue Sirens then.
Yeah, it's 1-0 to Blue Sirens. We will have to find a last map.
Oasis. It is Oasis. We're on AEO. They do tiebreakers out on Oasis. But I believe this map will still be played on Ilios.
Yeah, this map is definitely going to be played on Ilios.
Can we get us?
Sure. All right, we're going to go to a break while we sort out team-related issues. So catch you in a second. All right, and we're back. We sorted out everything. We're going to be going to Ilios. Attacker is going to be playing for Valiant Goblins now after they lost Elk, unfortunately. We're going to be going in about now. Just checking if everyone's are. We're all are.
We're always are.
They're all
We're
are.
good to go.
We're all are. We're all going to get into the game, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Lovely that Attacker's finally being part of the team. Switches his logo off onto the Valiant one at the very last second there. What a great guy subbing in for Blue Sirens, I believe. Oh no, subbing in for Valiants.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, playing for the Valiant Goblins.
So we see this map is the one we're talking about with the lovely boops that can happen from Lucio, Orisa, Roadhog. We know Rayson can play that Roadhog, and he is going to pick it up here. We're going to hope to see some really cool boops from him. Michi, the one-trick pony, will get back on Zenyatta. Not really too bothered about him being one-trick pony because he's a great pony indeed. And we're going to hope to see some nice little headshots coming
He
up.
played Widow, he'll have you know.
Well, double-trick pony.
Two-trick pony. Well, at least it's
Two-trick
better than
pony
one-trick
actually
pony. You
makes
can
a lot more
do a couple of things. So, we're going to be seeing him doing one of those two things, which means it's probably on par for a good game.
Yeah, exactly. So we got Immune on McCree after his newfound confidence. I think he's saying to himself, you know what, I'm a pretty good McCree player. Maybe I should play some more McCree, which is really nice, especially on this map with these little closed spaces on the definitely on the left side of the map on the red side. But we'll see how it goes down. A really, really long bomb there, almost hitting MJB, but not quite. We see Valiant's coming onto the point. Very stacked right now, look very strong indeed. Golden Eagle going off to the side, usually playing Winston, but he's on McCree this time, so we'll see how his DPS is going. So we see the fight.
Almost going down there. As you said, we're seeing the fight, and Riot Man is going to be staying on this point, just trying to contest it.
Golden Eagle definitely using that Golden Eagle. Farquhar gets booped down off the mat, but he definitely gets punished for doing that hook, and Immune goes forward and takes that screw. That's a lot of healing down for them.
Michi is starting to frag out. This could be the beginning of something beautiful if he's given the chance. But he isn't. Attacker's going to shut him down right away with a great left shift, and MJB is going to get aggressive onto him.
The right man popping a lot of bullets into McCree, giving him a hard time, but MJB will finally finish him off. Aravan coming around the side, trying to give Farquhar a bad time. Scrudy coming in with the heals, but they will finally take the point over to Blue Sirens.
That was an unfortunate scenario for Farquhar, but it's all good in the hood because Paratir is going to... I'm sorry, not for Paratir, for Alravan, but he's going to get the betrayed back for his Paratir, and all is good.
Pulse Bomb goes down there, doesn't really pick anyone up. Very nice dispersion from the Valiants there. They're going to continue to throw the bombs out, try to take the shields. Rayson gets pulled out there and punished greatly from sitting on that right side. Really nice play coming out from Paratir here, showing that he can make some really good pulls.
Farquhar trying to be the front man, but Paratir is just going to unload so much damage into him alongside the Riot Man. But Scrooty not getting quite killed off the edge, but Attacker with a beautiful tire is going to take it over.
Alrafan gets booped off the edge. They're desperately trying to run away, but Scrooty just says, no, you're going off the map. Go for a little skydive there, friend. You're not going in the well, but you're definitely going somewhere.
You are, and we're going to be seeing the blue team not stopping anything up. They've got quite a lot of ultimates to use, so they're going to try and use those first.
We do have Scrooter with the sound barrier here. Could use it to block off the coalescence on this map, especially with the massive amount of damage that's going to be coming into the point with Golden Eagle with that, with Michi with the Transcendence keeping the team alive. There we go, the Scrooty pops sound barrier, doesn't key, Michi goes down there, which is a lot of damage taken off Blue Sirens.
Golden Eagle has this ultimate. He's looking for a way to use it, but he is quite low. There we go. We finally see it coming out, but it's not really got any targets.
We'll continue to push on the point. Attacker is off. Scrooty will go down to parity here. Golden Eagle doing his job, takes out the Tracer, but might not be enough as they get pushed back off the point.
We're going to see developers move forward with that Coalescence, doing a lot of damage to that Supercharger, and the Bongo is destroyed by the beam, and Pirateer is going to turn around and start dealing damage. That Zarya has been big so far. Got 60%. That's dealing a lot of damage, that beam is.
Parity just doing a great job this entire match. All in all, been the solid backline and the anchor to the team. Keep them all alive. Some really nice shields coming out as well, especially in this last fight. And we'll continue to try frag out here. They take the right side. Good push here because it means that they're going to get onto point, and it might confuse Blue Sirens a little bit with this nice little play.
Parity putting in a bit of spam to keep them honest. Always like a bit of spam, but there's going to be a really nice ultimate coming out there from him, but there's no one to follow up. This has been an issue for a lot of teams in multiple scenarios that we've been in, that they just have not followed up on that Zarya ultimate.
No, the Zarya ultimate has been really great. We've had some 6-man ones, but no follow-up. We had a really nice, and the attacker will take down Riot Man there, but did you see Farquhar anticipate the gravel and put down the shield, which really stopped him from doing any damage in that fight.
Pretty brilliant so far, and Razon going to have to do a good job to look better.
When we see the flip there, Parity gets smacked onto the top of the map and will fall to his death. Nice little flip here, 97% on Blue Sirens. Ironically, Blue Sirens are finally on the blue team, making it a lot easier for us to differentiate now. But we're going to have to see what Valiance can do to keep this map alive.
Razon looking for a good place to use his bomb, but he's getting chased around by the Skiva, does not want to be part of that fight. Especially when his coalescing comes out. He's finally dropping it. It's looking like it's going to be a good one. Manages to find Elravan, that coalescing player, but Golden Eagle is going to follow up with a single kill from his High Noon. And wow, somehow, some way, Attacker manages to survive that. He's got to be careful for Immune.
Really nice though play from Golden Eagle. Knew he only had to take one down the Deadeye. Sometimes that's all you need in a fight like this. Razon really fragging out there, taking the 3k, and they push back into the fight. Mishi is just going to go down again in this fight. But like I was saying, Attacker's been making some good plays on the Junkrat, and they will actually just take that uncontested. First point going to Valiance there.
No, Valiance wasn't super strong on this defense. Sorry, when they actually managed to hold this point, they've looked really good in that. We've been a little bit lacking on taking, but you can say that on both sides, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely. I think Golden Eagle's been doing a great job on his newfound McCree play. Been positioning very well. Usually it's very difficult for McCree to learn positioning because you are so slow moving around the map. And once you use that flashbang and that shift, that's it. You're all out of options for quite a long time. Quite easy to pick up the kills. MJB switching off onto Widow here. Quite a nice one on this map. It's very scary though, however, for her because she is going against Farquhar, a really nice Winston, and Razon, as we know, a very solid diva.
Definitely having stellar performances so far. Razon having a really nice diva in comparison to what we saw of his Zarya yesterday. Because indeed, was definitely the one that was showing it yesterday.
So we're going to see them coming to the point here on the left side. Rightman will push in very aggressively, but his team will pick up on it, and Immune will come and take that 2k.
That was a beautiful dash through from Immune, and managing to pick him quite a lot. Not going to quite go out because he's saved by his covering sniper. Does actually go down to developers right at the end, but MJB absolutely popping off on that sniper. No one can
really
stop him.
nice there. So we see from that fight that the Riot Man, so Golden Eagle last game, we saw him doing a lot of jumping in. It wasn't really been backed up by his team, but we saw the Riot Man jump in, pop down the shield, but his team was always on his back the entire time, and Immune just cleared up. So some really nice communication coming out here and identifying when the Riot Man's going to go in and really being the good follow-up. I think what needs to happen here is the Valiance need to create some space and perhaps figure out a way to stop Riot Man from jumping in and getting no punishment for doing that.
Yeah, Michi managing to find a pick onto Golden Eagle has been absolutely brilliant, even on this map, on that Zenyatta. Going to try and pick off that jumping Winston, but not quite. He has that Discord on him, however, so he's got to be a little bit more careful than he currently is being. Immune going forward, now has that Dragon Blade, which you can see used in a situation like this, but this bomb not quite hitting anything.
Everyone hiding around that corner right there. Parity jumping in. Immune trying to get out. Parity actually taking down Farquhar there, which is a really bad play on his point, and the Riptire will come out.
Wow, Attacker managing to kill off the Riot Man. It's exactly what you need to see in order for them to try and start retaking this point. Both of those tanks unable to do their standard job because one of them's dead and one of them's demech. We're going to see Immune finally coming in with this blade, but doesn't quite get hit by the bomb, luckily for him, but doesn't really find anything either. He was denied his entire role.
Rightman does have Primal Rage come back on this point, but they cannot let MJB just sit back there and snipe without getting anything done to him. D.Va finally goes to find him before he will jump up top. Hopefully, we have Farquhar coming here. Oh, and the explosions will take her down, finally.
He had 1 HP in a dream, but unfortunately his dream wasn't strong enough.
Bit of a nightmare, actually, up there instead, I'm thinking, Rock.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you have a monkey right on top of you and someone firing rockets. Generally not what you want to be in.
Generally not at all. So we're going to see them take point on left side, which has been working out for the Blue Sirens a lot. Farquhar getting in a bad position right now, and Parity just trying to push in.
Ruby on this backline, trying to get a little bit of that damage done. See the right man yet again jumping in his backline very aggressively, managing to get away with it until he has to pop his Primal Rage to keep alive. Still has a lot of health, but that McCree does deal a lot of damage, and so does this Zenyatta, which he's trying to knock around. Not many people on this point for the red team. They're going to have to put both support ultimates to keep even a dream of it alive, but it's not looking good unless Michi can start to find these picks. Having a fight.
The developer's doing his best here to try to take out that Widowmaker, but no one's giving him any support. Golden Knight Eagle finally gets back onto point.
Scrooty going very low, and in fact going down to Riot Man. Farquhar popping this ult and starting to engage onto his backline. Going to take a lot of damage from this Widow though, and needs to be careful. The blade coming out from Immune. It's gonna get shut down though.
Done a really great job here, Rocket, holding this point, haven't they?
Yeah, no, they certainly have, and I didn't expect it to go all the way back again, so they were at very close percentages, but they really have taken it back.
A nice flip there from Valiance. Managed to keep hold of the point, partly down to Rayson with some great positioning underneath the bridge, staying out of line of sight of MJB, so not letting him do any damage to his mech, which is very easy to get the headshot. But Michi will take that headshot onto Attacker there, and this could spell defeat.
Not defeat when you find two quick picks like that, and especially onto those supports. And with Michi going down, it's looking like a red team take, and it feels like the Valiant Goblins have just absolutely turned this around. Their Widow pick didn't quite work out, but everything else went very much decisively their way.
And the game, yeah, will go over to Valiant Goblins. A really nice play there. The pick onto Zenya, onto the Genji was really, really nice, but it looks like Valiant Goblins weren't too happy with them taking out their Genji there, and just the Primal Rage kind of kicked in for all the players, and they went mad on this last point.
Certainly did. This Winston play was just so impressive. It was absolutely fantastic.
Really, really nice. Knew exactly where he was going, knew which targets to hit, didn't stay anywhere too long, and just gave a lot of pressure for his own team to do work. So we do have a tie here. I think we will be going into one of the control maps. It's up to you, Rock. I'm going to leave you the choice. Oasis is a nice one, but Nepal just as equally nice.
I think we're going to Dorado first, aren't we?
Oh, yes, we are, because it's a best of 5. Of course it is.
Yeah, no, it's only if we get to 2-2 that we're going to be going to the Oasis or the Lijiang.
Yeah. Can you pop me an invite? I did a really stupid thing, and I may have left the game.
Maybe, just possibly. It could have happened. Let's not mention it.
Pretend it never happened. The game may be full.
Did it say that?
Oh, yeah, it did. Definitely said that. Wait, let me spectate.
There we go.
Yeah, we go. I'm in.
Right. And the next map is... What did I say? Dorado.
Dorado, yeah.
Alright, going to swap over to that, and then we're going to be... finally wake up at 10 p.m.
That is not me, Rock. That is not me at all. 10 p.m. I'm feeling tired.
Nah, same. It's been a long day, but certainly keeping me awake with all these hair-raising twists and turns.
Yeah, Michi has really surprised me. Really, really surprised me with that Zenya. Who's your favourite player at the moment, Rock?
I definitely have to highlight MJB. Sorry, not MJB. MJB is great as well, don't get me wrong. But I definitely want to highlight Raison in that last map. He was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, really strong on that D.Va. got his head in the game, as the Wildcats would quite like to say, and really picked it up. Some great control that he created on that last point, especially if MJB started to figure out where he needed to go and make sure MJB didn't get those quick pot shots off on him.
Yeah, good so far, and we're going to just get into the game on Dorado so far, and all looking bright and shiny and new, much as Dorado does in this first spawn for the defenders. And we're going to be seeing the festival in the little village centre, looking nice as always.
Always, and we're definitely going to see all these pinatas go to dust very, very soon, as some of the players get a little bit frustrated and maybe shoot them down. I'm hoping to see some bells going off in the attackers' side of the map. That would make me rather happy.
We don't hear any bells yet. Well, I really turn up speed. Yeah, no,
there we go.
Finally.
Thank you, Farkaha. You absolute legend. So what we're going to see on this map is we're going to see some really nice pushes onto this first point. The choke on this little underneath of the bridge is where it really matters that you need a Junkrat to push in and keep the pressure on. What we might, however, see is we might see with the... Ooh, are they playing a May? They might be using that to jump onto the high ground up there alongside the Diva, which could cause a lot of control and pressure on Blue Sirens.
We are going to be seeing... no, we're not going to be seeing that May to try and cut off that line of sight on the first point. Instead, we're going to be seeing developers going back to that classic Moira, which is kind of their flavour of the week.
Yeah, I can't say I'm complaining. Made some very good coalescences and definitely keep the team healthy, which I can't imagine Golden Eagle or Rayson complain about.
Taking a lot of damage early, but they're holding this high ground pretty well so far. It's going to be a very little contest. There is no dive. It's going to be them. Oh, what a biotic nade, but Pirateer is going to get caught out. Has that take a breather to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but he's taken so much damage from these tanks who are already on the ground. No one's come down to contest this choke, and Michi's just going to go down. It's a matter of time. This is looking terrible for Blue Siren so far.
Really strong push from Valiant Goblins, and especially just because Farkaha has done such a great job of those pulls early on, some lovely hooks, and they might actually just quickly take the first point. I'm not sure even Pirateer can make it back in time. That is an insane first push, straight onto the first point, no contest. That is insane, Rock.
Yeah, no, and with Immune going down like that, it looks terrible for their team.
That must be absolutely devastating.
MJB, however, trying to turn it around with a good bit of spam, getting it into that choke from that high ground. High ground's gonna have to be contested at some point. They don't really have anyone other than Razon who can properly do it, though.
It's just a matter of time before Farkaha tosses a hook up there and pulls you back down again. Poor Razon gets hooked into the bear trap and gets demacked.
Not great for Razon, but definitely very good for attacking. He got so much charge out of that because everyone just decided to load all their damage that they possibly could. And there, MJB dropping the bait onto Farkaha, who hooks it right into the middle of his team and gets himself killed. And they just drop so much damage. And because there's no high ground contest, they just get away with it.
I think maybe it's time to switch off to a Pharah, perhaps try to take control of the high ground like you say, because they're just going to sit up there with the Orisa and the shield. It's fairly strong. Unfortunately for Farkaha, he does seem to hook everything in sight, and when you hook a Riptire, it's not usually the thing you want to be doing.
Unfortunately for him, they've got Razon trying to just stop everyone from getting the damage onto them with that great DM, but this Reaper from Immune, unless he gets his ult soon, like, he's very close, but yeah, he's going to get the ultimate and he's going to drop it as soon as he gets in the middle. That was a little bit premature. Immune always coming a little bit early, but Pirateer is definitely going to sweep that up for him.
Waiting for the enemy team to drop now to use this shatter, and there it goes out. Michi will go down. Pirateer also just living with a sliver of health there. will stay up. Raison with ultimate, still alive, still in the fight. Immune doing his best to take him down, but will finally leave this fight. Looks like Blue Sirens will restabilize. Valiant did a great job to push it as far as they did with the spam from MJB coming from the top, but like you say, Immune with the Death Blossom sat behind, and when it came down, it just let the entire enemy Valiants just had to scatter, and it was just a case of Pirateer jumping down, getting the hooks out, and clearing up. There we go. Hook onto Pirateer. Riptide comes down, takes out Attacker and Golden Eagle. They're going to have to reset here now, Rook.
I feel like they have to swap this comp up. It's just not working out for them anymore. The first point went really well. Maybe keep Attacker on that Zarya. He's very close to ultimate, but swap Golden Eagle maybe onto a Winston. And we can have Farquhar and Raison swap onto DPSs maybe. Maybe something a little around because Farquhar might not be so comfortable on DPS.
It would be really nice to see a Pharah here. There's no reason not to. Immune's on Reaper. MJB is on Junkrat. They've got the high ground. It would be lovely to see Pharah using a concussive blast to push them off, or even just those rockets to just put some pressure on them, create some space. We have a nice little push here coming from Valiant onto the bridge. Really sneaky. Didn't see this one coming. Attacker has grab, comes out. The bomb goes down.
Only manages to find one due to some good defense coming out from the Riot Man, and Michi popping the Transcendence at the perfect timing. However, that is going to net them the point from what it looks like. Immune all alone and lonesome. Pirateer, however, on this backside, trying to get some contest in. Looking good for them so far. He can take a breather in a second. Then he'll be all right and dandy. He has his ultimate, and he's going to pop it here, and it's not looking good for the red team.
An amazing haul from Pirateer there. At first, I didn't know what he was doing, but he just showed us they're just as powerful as Farquhar, and he just jumps in, takes the breather, pulls out the whole hog, and just pushes them completely off the point. Just a really phenomenal play coming out there. The stall from a single player, kind of disappointing coming out from Valiants though, that weren't able to stop him from doing that.
No, they weren't able to stop the whole hog and nothing but the hog. You can only deal with half a hog.
When he's on 300 HP maybe.
Yeah.
So we do see Golden Eagle switching off onto the Pharah now.
MJB gonna be a little bit in trouble here when that Pharah does come through finally. But Golden Eagle killed themselves? I'm not quite sure how that happened, but hey, whatever.
May have missed a rocket and hit a wall, which was very close to their face.
It's an interesting diva bomb. I think they're trying to reset the point. Picking up Pirateer is quite big because he's been such a good contester for this team, and these hooks are now starting to come out from Farquhar onto the high ground. Raison getting a good push off. Now Immune is actually down with them. But MJB finding yet again so much damage on this Junkrat, and they're not really stopping him. Jumps down a little bit unsafe here, but it's going to make it work. The Transcendence having to come out from Michi. Sorry, from Scooty. But this whole hog again from Pirateer alongside Immune's ultimate, it's going to completely shut them down. That's a 3k for Immune, and it's looking beautiful.
So yeah, a bit of a clunky fight there. The team fight was very scattered the entire time. Immune was just walking around looking for an opportunity. He had that Ana ult on him, but there's only 15 seconds on the clock. And if they can't take control of the high ground, then this payload isn't going anywhere, Rock.
No, it certainly isn't. Unless they manage to somehow sneak in, but I very much doubt it. And Golden Eagle taking a lot of damage. It's not looking good for him. He takes another Ana shot. He could be very close to death. MJB, however, shutting down two people at once. Yet again, being such a huge carry for this. What?
Alvaron leaving the game here quite unexpectedly. Not sure what's going on. Perhaps a bug on his end, or Overwatch has crashed. We're just going to quickly find out what's going on.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be right back, but that's not good, especially with well, he's already dead, so it's not the worst, but he does lose all of his ult charge. Terrifying.
Painful.
Even if he does manage to make it back in time for this next fight, for the end of this fight, it's gonna be hard.
Can be hard indeed. We can see, well, if actually we can take a quick look at what's going on here. We have developers in the backline. We still have Scrutiny up. Raison is demeched and Farquhar's in the front. There's only Michi, but we can see Pirateer sitting behind the pillar, waiting for his chance to come out, and there is no shield available. So I've got Alvaron back in the game now. We're going to unpause the game. In fact, I'm just going to give him a quick heads up.
Alright, we're going to get back in, and here we are. We're starting off the fight yet again. Michi just about managed to trick MJB with a beautiful tire to try and finish off this game, and with Farquhar going down to Michi and Golden Eagle following suit, that's not looking good, and that's going to be overtime. It's only one with 90 meters on that first push.
It's definitely not a long push they made, but it's also not a short push. I've seen payloads end a lot sooner than that, not even getting through the gates of Dorado. If they make a good hold on this first point, they might just be able to claw this one back, but it's looking not so likely, especially with MJB making such a beautiful Junkrat play on this map so far.
It's going to be up to Immune and MJB to try and get all these frags so that they can start moving to the first point. They look like they're going to be...
Now we have Michi leaving the game, having a nice little bit of musical chairs here with some people just leaving the game left, right, and center.
Yeah, this is super strange. Hopefully we don't have any more of this, but Michi... certainly not a person they want to lose, because he has put up very good performances so far. Alright. Is there any special picks that you think we're going to see from the remaining 3 members of the Blue Sirens?
Well, hopefully what we're going to see on Blue Siren side is MJB making some great plays on the DPS. He's going to pick onto Trace here, as we can see. We've got Immune on Genji, so very much a dive comp, but versus Attacker and Raison on McCree, very stationary opponents. Genji and Tracer actually could be massive on this map, actually, depending on how they play it. We'll see who the tanks are, but if we get a Winston and a D.Va, could be really strong on this map.
We're going to be seeing the Winston. It could be the D.Va. The D.Va is, as you said, very strong here, and Pirateer has been playing a lot of it today. Would not surprise me.
We'll just have to see what comes out from Pirateer. I mean, Raison and Attack. Now these switched off McCree. Yeah, there we go. Pirateer on the D.Va. So we've got a very highly dive comp here. It could be dangerous for Valiant, but if they can get that, they can just get 1 foot in the mud. They might just be able to hold this and stay grounded here.
Certainly could. And Attacker looking to do a lot of work on this Junkrat. As we've seen so far in this tournament, in this set of series, this Junkrat has been absolutely massive, even after the nerfs, to be honest with you, because the nerf didn't really nerf the important part of Junkrat. Junkrat can still do all of that spam, can do all of that damage. He just has a little bit of less of that get off me ability now.
Yes, definitely. Unfortunately, what we're also going to see is Golden Eagle. He's going up against Genji and the Tracer. Very difficult opponents to hook. His only choices to hook are Winston, and you don't want to pull him in, and also D.Va. You definitely don't want to pull them in, so he's going to have to get those hooks onto the 2 supports right now.
Yeah, and an early pick like that onto Immune is not good. We see MJB setting up for a flank here, but with that D.Va getting popped by Scrooty, it's looking like a fatal first push, and that's pretty much going to be it. I can't see them doing anything. They're just going to have to reset. MJB going to wait down here for a little while, but the Riot Man's going to die.
Riot Man doing a great time pulling out the muscles there, pushing the cart forward by himself. Actually has created a lot of pressure on Team Valiant here, because they don't have to do much to push it underneath the bridge, and by that point Team Valiant are going to have to reset their positioning, which they are doing right now. Very smart of them to do, and they're going to have Attacker pumping those bombs into the front.
MJB didn't actually do anything in that last fight and just died straight away. So far, achieved absolutely nothing, but hopefully we'll see them start to, you know, actually contribute.
So this is where things start to get interesting, when Junkrat can play around the payload. Riot Man gets pulled in really weirdly, not quite making it around the point.
Yeah, and we just see pick after pick after pick from the Valiant Goblins, and they're just looking so dominant so far. It seems like there's nothing that this team can do.
Very nicely done. We see Tracer coming around the right side again. Pirated, demeched, going to be absolutely awful for their next fight. Looking for the pick. They're looking to make some damage so they get their ult back up slightly quicker. But we're looking out on 87% on that Ana ultimate. Really need that up for this next team fight so they have at least something to keep the payload grounded.
Taka trying to find a lot of nades down, but it's hard to hit them onto these smaller targets, and Immune is just going to dash through. How are you supposed to hit things on people that are just dashing all around? Attacker manages to trade out with Immune. Immune doing so without the aid of an ult though, so that's pretty good for them. But Raison with this ultimate is going to find 1, 2, not quite 3. Parrot is going to say he's had enough fun.
Very good at this point. Raison taking out those 3 players. Very nicely done by him, especially because it means even with those few picks that Blue Sirens managed to get, it means it gives time for Raison and Attacker to get back to point and re-continue with the spam.
Golden Eagle has finally charged up their ult and developers finding Parrot alongside Spree. Going to be quite even in terms of ult economy. We're lacking 2 ults as piece because Parrot is switching off. He's nowhere near his. We're going to see no more defense. So.
Hopefully going to see Mitchie with the engage and Transcendence here. I think it's the only thing that's going to work, especially since such anchored team like this on Valiance. They really need to push in and create positioning around the point.
The Pulse Bomb hits absolutely nothing. That's the first of their ult economy gone, and with a hook like that, it feels like nothing's really going to happen. Golden Eagle does pop his ult, but Immune is going to absolutely mess him up with a great deflect into dash combo. But not really too much. They force out another ultimate though. That is important. Farquhar does drop the bot though.
Scrudy finally making that Transcendence play against Immune. Seeing that he had Blade Up and Transcendence into that has really actually changed the way he was playing from last game on Temple of Anubis. Really glad to see that happen, so congrats to that.
See, the right man, Nano Boost, is going to try and be a Nana and get right on in there. MJB doing so much work on this Tracer and getting absolutely everything he can possibly take with a beautiful bunch of one clubs.
We saw Alvaron there. He's been making these really amazing background all game. I think it hit a 4-man there, Rock, and I think that really lifted the game, or at least the fight, in their favor.
Immune taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to run away, but he gets hit by a nade from Attacker all the way across the map. That is unfortunate. And again, Attacker taking out every flanker that steps up to him. When you step up to him, he duels to the death. And certainly proving that now with some brilliant plays. That tire is going to pick up Michi, and that's just more and more time that's being slowly drained away from this Blue Siren side.
2 minutes on the clock here. It's not long to push it around that corner, especially with the team all on the high ground, using their tactic against them in this case. Immune and also who's that other attacker? Switched off. MJB has actually switched off onto Roadhog. They've got a triple tank combo going on here now.
Not quite sure that's what you want here. When you want to contest that high ground, they're making the same mistake that their opponents did prior in this match. Well, when Immune does so much work, doesn't really matter because he's found 3 kills so far. He's going to make it a 4th, and with Michi killing Attacker, that looks like it's going to be it. Farquhar's going down here, and who needs the high ground when you can just kill everyone?
Imagine that. I mean, we've got Immune there really opening up the floodgates for Blue Sirens. A really wonderful play coming out from him. Golden Eagle getting immediately demeched and Immune just slicing right through him. The grab coming out, Immune just cleaning up house. And that will be... Ooh, Farquhar makes it on, but they will push this in.
I'd certainly hire Immune to clean my house because he's doing a great job there.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to fire my cleaner. I want Immune in right now.
Blue Siren. That was the... Yeah. That's 2-1 to the Blue Sirens. It's looking good for them so far. If they win the next match, they don't have to go to that last tiebreaker, the best of 1, but we're not really going to get... Hopefully not get to the point if you're a Blue Sirens. They look pretty fantastic on that last push with Immune. Just absolutely popping off on that Genji.
Really nice match there from Immune. Picked it up in the last couple of seconds, but they were the crucial seconds that you needed to pick it up and push that payload home. Really great plays coming out from the entirety of Blue Siren, finally finding that courage to push through with their Genji.
All right, we're going to be going to a Oasis for the 5th game in this series. And if that goes wrong, we're going to be if that goes to a tie, can you even go? Sorry, if that takes it to a tie, is in other words, if the Goblins taking it to winning that map and taking it to the 6th game, we will be playing on Lijiang Tower. So yeah, where
is it Valiant's 2-1 though?
Is it?
Let me ask.
Wait. Have I done things wrong? I'm really confused now.
Same.
Have I messed up the team pudding? Oh no. I'm really good at this.
It's okay. I'm just going to quickly check out what's going on here. So we had... so it looks like...
Yeah. I was right. I was right. You made me doubt myself. It is the Blue Siren still winning.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. Obviously, they won the last match. So, yeah, we'll see if Blue Sirens can take the final here. Maybe, maybe not.
That one astute observation. They could possibly do the win.
Maybe do the win. Maybe not do the win. Whatever you like. It's just take it how it is, man. That's my best impression of the dude from the Big Lebowski. Not the greatest of impressions, but it's one of the only ones I do.
I got the spirit. I understood what you meant.
I just need a what's it called? I just need a White Russian now, and I'll be all set.
For sure. Hopefully not before we finish casting. No, I don't want you to be drinking on the job.
Of course not.
Perhaps afterwards, in a bit of celebration, if this is the last match, indeed. Indeed, the last match.
So we do have a Oasis here. It's nice to see a Pharah on this map. This is one of the few tough matches where a lot can happen in a quick amount of time, especially because it's just so open, isn't it, Rob? Like, you can come from any side. And we're going to have a couple of 2 team comps here, and we're going to wait for them to finalize their decisions. So it looks like we're going to have Immune back on that Genji, MJB on Pharah, really great on this map, and Pirateer and the Riot Man doing their thing on the Winston and the Diva. So we've got a pick from Alravan. We've got the Mercy coming out, really trying to improve that staying power on the point. We're going to see how that works out against Valiant Small.
That's a beautiful
slow play
from MJB, taking out Attacker right before anything even happens. However, some return picks coming out from Golden Eagle on this Soldier, taking out MJB, and Scrooty definitely stepping up to the plate. This res having to come through from Alravan, but Immune trying to trade out. We're having such big and impactful fights from both teams with kills going either way, but the Riot Man certainly doing a lot of the fragging himself with so much damage on that Tesla cannon. Attacker.
Rayson in the back there, shooting a little water pistol, but not doing much.
No, and it's in fact going to go down, so it looks like Blue Sirens managed to take this first point.
It's a nice fight there. Did go either way. Could have gone either way, in fact. But it looked like the Riot Man, like you said, just started fragging out. What he did correct there is he chose his targets very smartly, and made sure he was in the fight and stick on top of his healers.
We're going to be seeing Pirateer already on fire because he's been doing such a fantastic job. Michi also with their ultimate. Riot Man not quite hitting theirs in time, and it's going to go down. Over this ultimate coming out from Pirateer. Quite interesting. Doesn't actually land. A little bit optimistic, but Golden Eagle is going to find that pick, and they're going to move on in with Ryson getting a bomb of his own. Not quite landing, but MJB on this Pharah is doing so much work. They're finding pick after pick.
Michi bringing out the players again, but it's not like we haven't seen this before. The ult economy for Blue Sirens here is absolutely immense. You've got MJB with a barrage, Michi with Transcendence. If they can space these out correctly, they might even be able to get it to 100% before the flip even occurs.
MJB not taking a lot of damage, definitely spacing themselves quite well. Parateer being the front line here. Going to try and get out of harm's way, and it gets popped, unfortunately for them, but we see this ultimate barrage come out from MJB. Manages to take one before Attacker just unloads grenades into his face. 70%, however, for the Blue Siren side, and his blade is finally going to come out from Immune. And he's doing a lot of work with it.
Michi definitely stolen out Rayson there, given time for Immune to get back into the fight. Rayson finally goes down to the deflect, and they've actually managed to stick on the point here, despite using all of their ultimates. It really did cost them a lot. Farquhar still has Primal Rage, and Attacker still has Riptide, so we'll just have to see how they use these two ultimates to really try to change the tide of the fight here.
Going to try and get a pick with that tire early on, but they've got to get on the point now, and I think that's what we're going to see Farquhar do. The ultimate does absolutely nothing as Pirateer just rams it. Farquhar definitely taking that same philosophy with his own body as he tries to take out Michi here. Doesn't quite land it because Pirateer is there to save the day. Developers goes down.
Pirateer going straight for the McCree there, not much you can do against that. A really, really nice Stealth-Destruct that kind of just falls off the edge there last minute.
Yeah, Rayson not actually finding too much on that except from Michi, but that could be all you need if it weren't for the fact that Immune, MJB and Rightman are just putting out such outstanding performances.
Unfortunately for Valiance, they've just kind of lost their momentum a little bit, and it just appears like Blue Sirens are just starting to slowly but surely crawl to the top of this mountain and just stick on top. We'll see how they play out this next match. I'd like to see definitely a Junkrat from both sides, as we know it's really strong on this point, being able to just throw the bombs over the side of the wall. Not much you can do in the middle. You see a lot of the fights been played out on either side. On the doors, a lot of sight lines that you can use to create a lot of pressure and space from either team. But again, this is another map that can go either way for both teams. It just depends on who can play this Junkrat better.
Yeah, Farquhar is going to look for a way to make an engage there. Running dive this time. Only one of the teams that is. It's going to be Goblins running this dive. And the Rightman has been pretty decent, to be fair, on this Reinhardt side. I'm not surprised to see that one again. Manages to pick up Attacker. Attacker having a little bit of an issue with dying early in fights. And Farquhar, you're on the wrong side, mate, as he gets picked off.
Ryson there making a really questionable dive onto the right side, kind of leaving his entire team open as you see Immune just slowly pick up the rest of the kills. Ryson really going to stop doing that kind of stuff. Getting very maybe flustered at this point, rushing onto the enemy team, desperately trying to take that point, but his clawing hands just can't seem quite to get to it.
Definitely, they're keeping him at arm's reach and not quite letting him get the satisfaction which he so desires, and he demands satisfaction, and he's going to have to look for a way into this fight as Farquhar is trying to find for his team. This tire coming out from the Junkrat doesn't actually find anything. In fact, MJB in not so great a spot, but does manage to save himself due to his team being right there for him.
And we see it again. We see Farquhar actually going in after Rayson, trying to pick up the pieces of that broken mech, but there's not really much you can do in that situation where Rayson puts himself at such a disadvantage by placing him inside all the fire of the enemy team there, and the Rightman just going to swing away and break him to pieces.
Developers starting to move forward, but they're trying to keep their health up because the team is just taking far too much damage for them to do so. They really need perhaps to get a little bit more of the healing energy for this Moira. Pirateer almost done. That's something to point out. Could see it here.
They've got a lot of close range healing, but Rayson appears to be much far away a lot of the time. Grav comes out there.
I know, but they don't. Wait, oh wow, MJB having the balls to just drop that right in the middle of the of the grab, and it's going to pay off so very well. This Tracer looking for a flank.
10% left on this point. Quite easy to cap this. All they need to do is keep them back, and if Rayson makes a silly play again, it's going to spell disaster. And just jumps in the self-destruct.
MJB going down, but we see Immune still going around. Developers managing to pick him up with a great coalescence, but Riot Man with that shatter and charge is going to keep the Dream alive alongside the rest of his Santua, finally returning as he runs in as a nano-boosted big mech man and beats up Raison.
Developers getting hit into the side here. Golden Eye Eagle tries to get on the point, tries to take it back. Attacker on the point with Tracer, just going to get hit around, and the overtime is ticking down and can't get quite on the point, and that will be the finals going to Blue Sirens there. Not Hidden Llamas like it says on stream, but instead Blue Sirens.
Yeah, no.
It's a 3-1 victory, isn't it, Rock?
Yeah, no, it is, and that has been a really dominant last match. It was so close throughout the entirety of the finals, and then that last match was just so one-sided.
Yeah, MJB really doing some great work on these past 2 matches. On Dorado, having a great time there at topside, and on this map as well.
Yeah.
Raison did make a few bad plays there though, Rock, going a bit too overly aggressive.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit lackluster from that team, and I felt really let down because they kind of dropped the ball. Farquhar wasn't really making the engages. Raison couldn't follow up, and it felt like they were falling apart.
Yeah, an unfortunate end to their streak so far. But there's always next time, right, Rock?
There is indeed, and perhaps you could be there too. Just come join us at AEO GG. All the information is below. You can see the website, the Twitter, and the Discord. And you can see that we have multiple things going on at multiple times a day at multiple days of the week, as you see on our stream schedule and countdown.
And I'm sure the mods will link any links in the chat so you can check us out later. Also, definitely stop on by at broadcast.gg. They have some great assets over there and stuff you can check out for casting and broadcasting in general, and a lot more opportunities that you could get a hold of.
I'm going to be dropping a link for that in the chat as well about now. And I think that's it. I think we're going to be wrapping it up here. And I'd like to thank everyone for taking part in this. It's been an absolutely brilliant evening. And I think the same can be said for you, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Rock. It's been a really good time. Enjoy casting alongside you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We had a really fun time doing this.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
Nate.